And you didn't even. You just said last time, and that's all you said.
Can't prove that.
I can.
I'd like to see proof of this.
Okay. Anyways, you gonna continue?
Yeah, I'm now listening to an advert for your stream rather than. So I'm gonna need 20 seconds.
For what?
Long advert.
Oh, but you don't have to watch the advert for the stream.
Listening to Dutch adverts while trying to speak English is really confusing.
Oh, well, just mute the stream.
Alright. Last session, the party ended up in Camp Vengeance. Actually, the party was already in Camp Vengeance. They had met the commander already, who was a massive cunt. Two of the party members, Mark and Joseph, headed into the sick bay, cured some people. The other party members dicked around. I have no idea what they did. Until at one point, the gods started screaming, "Giants, giants, giants!" That's why we started the session. Upon hearing this, the party was not that impressed, walked outside their tents mostly, and the camp got bombarded by rocks.
Yep.
Instead of summoning everyone to fight, the god kind of acted like a dick again, so the party didn't really feel bad for him. Most of the guys rushed to the help of the people. The party tried to make their way out, but more boulders fell, and Aldous got buried by one.
He did.
At that moment, a mysterious, floating, annoying as fuck lich just appeared out of nowhere above the party. Oh, and the giants yelled at something about the winter ring. The one that Aldous had touched. Alright, at that moment, a lich appeared above the camp. In a really weird accent, he said some things, and he ripped Aldous' heart out from his chest, while floating a long way above us, so nobody could do anything about it. He ended up teleporting Aldous' body towards him as well, or making it float, because the arm that was trapped underneath the rock did actually get ripped off. And they just simply disappeared, leaving the party to wonder what the fuck just went on, while a massive wall of purple demolishing energy closed up on the camp, and everything behind the wall was yelling and getting disintegrated. So the party made their way out, jumped into the boat, helped the local medic lady, nurse lady, save 2 wounded, I think it was?
One.
One wounded. The captain of the guard actually tried to make his way out as well. The party did not like this and made sure he fell down and got swallowed up by the incoming wall. The party drifted off stream and ended up in a small forest enclosure where a few more boats were. They put it on shore, rested for a bit until Mark spotted a weird statue. Upon closer inspection with their new friend, who they also saved from the camp, which is a pirate, who still has not introduced himself, but somehow people trust him already. He inspected the statue. Turns out it's a shield guardian, but shield guardians are quite useless when you do not have the necklace that operates them. So they reconvened, and turned out Newen actually, oh no, it's not Newen, that is Nicholas is Anna as well. Nicholas actually had that necklace on him, so they went back later on while cooking some food. Got the shield guardian, saw what he can do, and decided to rest up for the night because it was getting late. I think that's where we left off the party, with a spinning robot in the middle of the camp.
Yes, you were just going to sleep, and the night was closing in.
No, the night had already finished because Mark's shift in the guard duty was last, and he is now sitting on the spinning robot.
Yep. So, in the night, most of you sleep fairly well. One of you has an unusual experience.
We woke up in the morning.
No, you hadn't woken up yet.
Okay.
One of you has an unusual experiment. Joseph,
Yeah?
you here?
Why is that guy's dick glowing?
It's not his dick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely his dick.
It's also not a guy.
Delightfully dicklish.
I hope this is...
That's a man.
That's not a man.
That's a god.
That's a woman.
It is a woman. As you...
And a small woman.
Can you stop for like 3 seconds?
No, we're having fun.
As you close your eyes for sleep, you are... You normally have dreams that most people have. Silly things about cakes flying through air or lizards with no tails. Weird stuff like that. This time is different. You find yourself in a huge, black, and expansive area. It stretches on for as long as you can possibly see. The only thing you hear is something very slight and distant. The sound of a forge hammer banging against an anvil, but it's very quiet. Almost impossibly distant. And in the very far, and in the direction of the noise, you see a light, faintly flickering. You're compelled to go towards it. As you move closer and closer to it, you see the back of somebody.
Don't go near it.
Large, muscular, strong. The arms of a forge worker.
It's gonna be a bad dream. It turns around as the face of me mother.
You get closer. The person doesn't seem to be getting any closer, though, or at least they're not. You don't seem to be making any distance between the two of you. You walk and go forward, and nothing seems to be changing. But as time passes, without you moving, you get closer and closer to this person. Eventually, the hammering growing louder and louder, to the point where it is nearly deafening. And
It's
then,
okay, I got earplugs.
all of a sudden, it stops. And the worker turns slowly, her face covered in soot and black
It is me mother.
from the work she has been doing. She has fiery red hair that drapes around her shoulders, and eyes like coals. About time, Joseph.
Well, hello there. I look slightly over her shoulder or behind her. What are you working on?
Oh, this. And she holds up something. Your brain can't really understand what it is she's working on. It shifts and moves and kind of looks like, if you've ever seen old VCR where they kind of crackle and shift.
Yeah, like TV static.
Yeah, a little bit like that. It's like something in your brain doesn't allow you to form the correct... you don't have a frame of reference for what this thing is. And she looks at it and says, "It's not finished yet. But soon it will be a new creature." She continues to hammer. I'm glad you're joining me, though. You are one of my favorite little creatures at the moment.
That's awfully kind of you to say, ma'am.
Do you know why you're here?
I haven't the foggiest. Last I remember is falling asleep in a forest.
You are of sleep of a kind. Joseph, where are you from?
It's been so long. It's hard to say where I'm from. My parents adopted me.
That they did.
At a
Would
young
you-
age, I've been traveling.
Would you like me
Kind
to,
of. Sorry.
would you like me to tell you where you're from? Or do you want to find out for yourself?
I'm sure that when the time comes, I'll be able to find the information on my own. For now, there's other projects that require more of my attention.
Oh, there are always other projects, Joseph. But fair enough. Do you know who I am?
I'm sorry I can't say.
I think you know. You're afraid to say. Probably. But keep the forge glowing bright, and you'll find my name eventually. And Joseph, that chain gun you're going to make is quite a good idea.
Thank you.
May your forge burn bright. And then as she says that, the forge in front of her, the anvil she's working on, glows brighter and brighter, and then you wake up.
Alright. God, I have to.
Okay. The rest of you wake up without incident or occurrence in your sleeps. Your dreams are unbothered or unfettered by anything. Joseph, you wake up with a sense of warmth, not from the jungle or the heat, but just a kind of nice feeling deep
Does
inside.
that sense of warmth happen to remove my other point of exhaustion?
Well, your other point of exhaustion goes on a long rest anyways.
Well, I don't remember. Wait. I thought this was the long rest that got rid of everyone's initial point.
I will say yes. You do get rid of your other point of exhaustion.
Alright. God, this effing mouse. Good morning. It's,
Good morning,
Mark.
lad.
How'd your watch go? Mark?
Niels, you're muted. Niels.
Nails? Why was,
Fuck!
It's
Dean,
hard to
go.
unmute and listen to
I'm
that
sorry, what?
adverts.
Oh, I asked how your watch went. You just sat this out.
It went, wee! It went alright. I mean, a new buddy didn't see anyone. Neither did I.
What's the weather like this morning?
That's a good question. Ooh. is a very chilly 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
Chilly 60 degrees.
Fahrenheit, yeah.
Oh.
Which makes it about 12 degrees Celsius.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's actually really, really cool for the jungle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna sharpen my swords a bit.
There's a light
Very
wind.
clear.
There's a light wind and no precipitation. It's probably quite overcast though, due to the amount of cold that would be.
Well, there was a torrential rainstorm like the other day, so it's probably still left over from that.
Yeah, so the jungles are noisy as always, but cooler. Like almost like the entire area is breathing a sigh of relief from the lack of the oppressive heat. Your campsite looks relatively untouched as well. The injured person is, and because of your good thinking, you're all raised off of the ground in these kind of makeshift canoe bed things. Your injured person is breathing steadily, slowly. Syl is watching over her, and and your albino dwarf companion Mushrab is busying himself by looks like he's whittling something over by the campfire, or the smoldering remains of it. Vorn still stands spinning his head continuously because no one's told him to do anything else.
Well, I don't know who has the amulet. Nobody knows.
I gave it to you because you tested out telling it to watch and then you went back to nap.
Well, why would I keep it in sleep? I gave it back. I gave it to someone before I went to sleep.
I
Decide who
thought
has it.
Mark had it last.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mark, put the necklace into one of these free pockets. I go into the jungle to check on my goat egg.
Okay.
I'd like to cast Identify as a ritual on the Rabbit,
On the what?
the robot. The
Oh, the
armored
robot. Okay.
as a
so-
ritual.
So, okay, so as you kind of go off to check your thing, you find, let's see. How far away did you throw the goat?
I just tied it to a tree just slightly within the jungle because I assumed we were on like not short shoreline.
Okay, so a number.
Shoreline.
So as you approach where the goat was, there is only just about enough of the, like a little bit of the leg left. The bones have been picked clean by something. If you want to know what, you'll need to make a survival check.
I am going to make a survival check as soon
Okay.
as I find my sheet on certain places. My survival bonus is 12.
12. It
That's
looks
my
like...
survival bonus.
Okay, so it looks like it was picked apart by some kind of beaked creature. Very long, almost like a needle, kind of stabbing and ripping and tearing. It doesn't look like it was particularly good at kind of getting bone or anything like that, but it was very effective. There are marks on the tree where you tied the goat that are indicative of something like, not quite like a rapier, it's too big and blunt for that, but more like a bird's beak, but much larger than any bird you've ever seen before.
Like a toucan?
Beak size is about is the same same kind of shape, but much larger and more pointed.
It's chucking it down. It's awesome.
Your identify spell.
Yeah.
So you cast it on the guardian itself.
Yeah, just send that to me whenever that finishes so I can read it.
Okay, hold on. I'll just read it out to you because it'll be easier. H-I-H-L, yeah. Here he is. So, what would you know? So, you know that you need the amulet in order for it to be controlled.
Yeah, I already
you
know that.
Yep. You know that you can give it simple commands, and it will understand them. Its main purpose is to protect whoever is wearing the amulet, so it can act slightly autonomously if there are certain conditions being met, something like the amulet wearer being attacked or something like that. If the attacker threatens to injure the wearer, the construct can magically absorb the blow into its own body even at a distance.
Say that again.
So, if an attack threatens to injure the wearer of the amulet, the construct will magically absorb the blow into its own body. Okay?
Okay.
Welcome to Chill with a rain sound effect.
A spellcaster can store a... Yeah, it's not actually raining right now. A spellcaster can
It's a
store...
shame, 'cause it would work really well.
A spellcaster can store a single spell within a shield guardian, which can then be cast... Which can then cast the spell on command or under specific conditions.
Dude, are you out the window or some shit?
No, it's just actually that heavy. Which on
Yeah.
What school of magic is the thing?
It is a combination of several things: enchantment, transmutation. Enchantment, transmutation primarily is how this thing works.
I get to know all of
Yeah. You also know the shield guardian regains 10 hit points at the start of a turn if it at least has 1 hit point.
So it
Yeah.
magically buffs itself out if it like is missing material.
Yeah, it will repair itself. Yeah.
Like, so like if something like took off, I guess I know this from Identify. If something like took out a chunk of its like midsection or something, it would just regenerate, or
You don't know. That's far beyond the scope of the Identify spell. You know that it has the capacity to regenerate, but you don't know the limitations of that. You don't know what the limitations are. There could be limitations in place, but you don't know what they are. Like, there could be a point of no return, as it were.
well, obviously, I assume if it gets separated from, like, if it loses an arm, it can't just put it on because it'd be separated from like the mass of the construct. But I mean, like, if something started like ripping, like if it guarded some teeth with its arm and it bit chunks out of like the arm metal, if it would just regenerate the arm metal.
You don't know.
So I don't know.
It's the specifics of it are beyond you. It's more like you know that it has a capacity for self-repair. You don't know how it does that. Like, you don't know if it just regenerates the material or if it actually does something odd. So it's going to be kind of a try and see.
Alright, what else we got?
That's the shield guardian. It is a construct. It has, I can give you the stats if you need them. It has 142 hit points. Has an armor class of 17, 30 speed, 18 strength, 8 dex, 18 constitution, 7 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 3 charisma. It's immune to poison. It's immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, or poisoned. It has blind sight in 10 feet. It has dark vision. And it does understand any language. But it cannot
Nice.
speak.
What was its speed again?
30 feet.
Nice.
If, when a creature makes an attack against the wearer of the Guardian's amulet, the Guardian grants +2 bonus to the wearer's AC if the Guardian is within 5 feet of the wearer. As long as you stay within 5 feet of it, you will gain +2 AC. The way the shared spell thing works, if you take damage, half of any damage the wearer takes is transferred to the Guardian. That's the way this. That's the way the spell. That's the way the damage sharing works. So basically, effectively, if you're holding the amulet,
Yeah.
you have doubled your HP.
What's the range of that? Because Dean's obviously had the same limp for a while and he wasn't taking half damage.
60 feet. He
I
hasn't,
haven't
but
actually been hit.
but he hasn't, but he hasn't been near Vorn.
Ah, that's fine.
This is your first encounter with him.
And so, it's our overall goal to get back to the port at the moment.
With your injured people, yes.
Yeah.
That's your current goal. Mushrab is kind of like...
I think we discussed this as a goal.
Yeah. Mushrab goes...
Alright. I tried to keep it as it was. And I found some more books. Done the passport? Not yet.
I need your like marriage details and stuff like that, so I'll save that. Do it later.
Oh.
I'll go and see Moose Rat.
Mushrab.
Moose Rat.
What do you want, laddie?
How far away from the port are we at this point?
Week, probably.
Do we intend to stay long at this camp? Should I be rebuilding a fire, getting ready to eat or anything?
We shouldn't stay anywhere in the jungles for very long, laddie.
Do you have any food or drink? I'm a little bit dependent on other people at the moment.
I don't, but I can hunt a little bit. And... that's a problem. If the rains don't come back, we might be in trouble.
Is there any way to boil the river water and purify it or anything?
Yeah, we could boil the river water. Don't drink it raw, though. Throat leeches.
I'm aware I fell into it a few times on the way.
Nasty things, those. Give you a terrible, terrible back end.
Is my rain catcher full of water?
I think it is, yeah, from your create water spell. So you have
If you
10
need water,
gallons.
I can lend you some.
Well, if you're lending me it, I don't think you expect it back unless you want me to piss it into a jug.
That would not be preferable.
But I'd appreciate the kindness if that's fine.
I point out the rain catcher.
So you all take a drink
A
this
big
morning.
slurp.
Okay. Right. So, where are you guys going? Mushrab.
Got morning ritual.
Well,
And where
we
are
still
we?
got morning
I
stuff
take
to
out the
do.
map.
Mushrab points. We're likely here, and he points to the X mark where Vorn is on your map.
I've given myself I've sharpened my swords. I'm pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's where party is pretty much
Yeah.
on the hexagon.
Oh, okay.
Do you suppose that our new metallic friend would be able to ride in the canoe with us?
Mushrab looks at them. Don't know. How heavy is he?
Deep's the river.
No one's ever bothered to go in to find out. There are some rather nasty creatures in there.
I break a branch off a tree or find a log or anything that's like of length and stick it into the river.
Okay. How long?
Like 8 to 10 foot.
Okay, so you get to the edge of the river, you stick it in, you hit mud pretty quickly, about 3-4 feet in down.
Well, you could walk.
We'll be faster than him, though. In the boat, we'll be moving much quicker than he can go. Well, I think he can go. At least he's,
Well,
he's not
if
going to
it's
be...
not running rapid, then we can pretty much control the speed of it ourselves.
We'll go slower, but we'll be on the river. It'll take us about 2 weeks not on the river then.
We
We'll
should
have to
test
match
to
his
see
speed.
if the canoe, if he can get in the canoe. Or can we figure out how much he weighs?
Fuck me,
and
we're
take-
140 miles away.
You are
Mile-
you are really far away.
Can we do some quick maths since
How
I
many
identified
weeks is
him
that
to know
cat?
like
That's a bit far out of my league, to be honest.
how heavy he'll be? Because technically we have two people, like Mark and the dwarf are technically. Wait, we can count them as one person, and then
This is
Dwarves are pretty hefty.
that's like 7 people if we count the golem.
So a canoe can hold 6.
Uh,
Six
We
medium
have
creatures.
multiple canoes.
Vorn is not a medium creature. He is a large
it's
construct.
large.
Yeah.
I don't know if the canoe's gonna work if we bring this creature, but I do have another idea.
Horses?
We could convert the canoe into a wagon of sorts, and have the armored construct pull it to the board.
Born, Joseph.
Hey, Dean.
Born.
Yes.
We're pretty much the exact same distance from the port as I am from you in real life if we were able to walk along the A55.
That's only going to take a few hours then, really.
That's why it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It doesn't take 2 weeks to walk down the A55.
Through jungle.
Or we could tie a raft to our canoe and have it sit on it as
Like
we
2
drag it along.
Walk along the A55.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how far distances are. Like in reality, if you think about how long you can walk on a road, yeah, you can get farther. In dense jungle, it's different. And you're looking out through this jungle, in this small little clearing you're in. It is dense. There are vines and overgrown. There's no sign of a path with this. It looks like no one's really traversed or been down this way. If you were to go straight through the jungle, and Mushrab will tell you that straight through the jungle without hugging maybe the main rivers, the river Soshan Star, isn't advisable. There's no telling what's inside there. He might point out we could go around the mountainside. There's a couple of mines down up that way. We could try.
I think it'd be safer if we just travel the river.
We could just travel the river and have it walk behind us
Trying
all.
to figure out.
Or we could have
Kind of
a
like
rest.
mines.
Well, we're crafty people. We can outthink this problem.
That's a good point. Can it lift all of us in the boat?
Nicholas, what do you think?
That's
Should
fine.
we use the metal from the canoe and some other things to make a cart for it to pull us, or should we just makeshift a raft for it to sit on that we drag with the canoe?
I think on a raft it'd probably be too heavy. It'd probably push it down, be locked up. It walking and probably save us the time.
Joseph, make me a intelligence check with proficiency.
With proficiency?
Yeah, because you've got some with advantage actually as well. Because you're a forge cleric. You know how much.
I don't know how
metals
to
weigh.
add proficiency to
It's
a
plus
normal
2.
roll.
It's +2.
So I'll just roll it normal and we'll see +2.
Okay. 20,
Also, if ever Devil rolls things, my mouse is messed up.
Looking over at Vorn is made of 2 materials that you can recognize. There are some arcane glyphs and things, and some more unusual things that you don't. But he's primarily made of adamantine, and that's a very dense, very heavy metal. Think lead. He's primarily made of lead, and there's the sections that aren't made of adamantine are made of wood, but it's not a wood you recognize. It's something that's unusual, different.
It's not like a birch or a rosewood, not even silverbark.
No.
I mean, we're talking about the its equivalent in armor is it makes critical hits normal hits.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
it's pretty dense.
Yeah, this is like seriously dense metal. You reckon he's probably rocking somewhere between 1.5 to 2,000 pounds.
Ooh,
He's
that's
literally-
definitely taking the boat under.
Yeah, he is literally sinking into the ground beneath you. When every time he steps, he leaves a footprint.
If we leave him standing
I'm
still-
just thinking the boat's probably not gonna work, but it doesn't make sense for us to ride the river if he's gonna come with us. We could make a cart so he could take us to Port Niranzara walking along the riverside.
Do that? What are you
We
doing?
could just slowly take ourselves down the river and have him walk at the side of it. You can slow as long as the rivers don't start rapid, then
But
surely
then
we
that's
can
less
control the
work for
pace.
us if he's pulling us.
Why don't we just go down the side of the river then?
Do what you
Fair
want,
point.
laddies. Do what you want, laddies. But
But then we have to walk.
do what you want, laddies.
Not
But
if we make a wagon and have him pull it, or some kind of box on his shoulders.
How are you gonna make a wagon?
We got wood, we got metal, we got faith, and I elbow Joseph.
How much would a wagon that he could pull all of us, I reckon, cost?
there's an answer to that. Hold on.
It doesn't have to be all of us, we can take turns walking.
Well, Mark can just actually... Okay, all of us -1, because Mark can just ride the golem.
Can we raid the golem?
Still spinning.
So I would say a wagon
Well, tell
would
him
be
to stop.
a wagon is probably
That's
equivalent. A wagon would be equivalent to 100 gold, the same as the canoe.
The canoe was like 50.
Yeah. Well, you're trying to build a very large. You're actually trying to build a wagon larger than the canoe is. The biggest
Well,
problem.
not really. I mean, it would still carry like the 6 people.
6 people who are standing up. You've got an injured person.
How much to make like
Why
6
would we
wheelbarrows?
stand in the wagon? We just sit.
You don't stay. Yeah, but you have a person who needs to lie down.
What about 6 wheelbarrows?
Fair.
Wheelbarrows
No,
are 20 gold, I
You
think.
can't hold them.
Um,
Well,
The rope.
well, that's fine because it'd still only be like 50 gold because we could use the canoe as materials.
yeah.
I've got this.
Mushrab goes, aye. Whatever you decide, we'll do what you want, laddies. But we need to get going. We don't want to be sitting out in the jungle. There are things.
I
out
know,
here.
I know. Give me a minute. I'm thinking about. Very invested in this new idea.
Okay. What are you doing?
Would the cart be completely made out of metal if he's making it? Like, or
It's-
could we chop down trees
Parts
to
of
give
it,
him
no.
it and
pa-
reduce
the
the
wood
cost?
part. No, with the ritual, anything that isn't made of metal is like created for it.
Yeah.
So it would have metal bits here and there everywhere, but it would also have wood.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I choose the kind of wood? Would that affect the price?
It would affect the price. It will.
God dang it.
I think I think the way we're gonna have to play with the rituals is if it's not metal, it has to grab whatever it can from the surrounding areas. It's not actually creating something; it's transmuting.
So we can use the canoe. This 50. I got this. This is 15. That's 65. How much-
Can't you just forge some wheels onto the bottom of the canoe?
Could we just forge wheels onto the bottom of the canoe?
You could. That's an option you can do. You could build it's called a trestle.
Would that work, Nicholas?
Yes, it would.
All right.
So you're drawing a nice skull.
Yeah.
Okay.
To go on like the mizzen of the canoe.
Yeah.
So you're
All right,
trying to
how
build
much would it cost to do that?
Like a free
I
item.
reckon you're looking at about 20 golds worth of input in terms of things.
Extra materials.
Obviously, you have to provide the canoe to sit on top of it, and then you have to find
Yeah.
some way of lashing the two together. But
Well, I would just use the forge thing to remake it and add to it the ritual.
okay, so you take the canoe and just make this new trestle-y thing. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I have 2 trap blades. How much would those be worth towards the
You have
ritual?
two what?
Trap blades from the temple.
They're probably only worth about 5 gold each. There's
I'll use
there's a lot
one
of
of
iron.
those. I'll use one of those, the 15 gold iron ingot, and that's 20 on top of the canoe. So
Okay.
I'll begin the ritual.
I believe I grabbed 3 additional swords on top of my 2 swords. That when I grabbed them, can I just chuck them in at him?
Why
No,
is this
because we already have enough.
happening?
Unless we want to like add a mask first.
Mark, can you just show me that? Can you just hold up that necklace for 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Yep. Tell me
11
what-
minutes, sir.
11 minutes? I want to ritually cast Identify on...
It adds It adds 10 minutes, not makes it.
On the amulet.
No,
So it'd be 11.
Yeah.
I'm using my ingot, a trap blade, and the canoe to make this trestle thing.
So you spend an hour creating this trestle while everyone else doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the skull mizzen design.
Okay, so you gain the same knowledge. You gain.
And an N on the skull, because I know Nicholas will want that.
Okay. So you spend an hour. You spend the next 11 minutes doing the casting Identify on the. You learn that this is the Master's Amulet for the Shield Guardian Vorn. It is primarily composed of adamantite and a gold filigree that says Vorn. Would you learn the same Shield Guardian? No, because you're not casting it on. You only know that it controls the Shield Guardian. You probably would get the bound side of it. You know that
You
if you were
probably
thinking-
also get the schools. You would also get the schools of magic
enchantment.
that the amulet has.
Enchantment.
Specifically.
That's it. You know that it is bound to this Shield Guardian, and that as long as you're within 60 feet of the Shield Guardian, you take half damage, and that damage is transferred to the Shield Guardian. You don't know anything specifically about the Shield Guardian because that would require you to cast the Identify spell on it.
I want to know where the enchantment lies on it.
On the amulet?
Yeah, would I know, like, being an artificer, how an enchantment is, like, encoded onto it? Like, could you separate the components of it and maintain the enchantment?
Ooh, interesting. I think make me a tinkering check.
Tinkering check.
Added
Yeah.
Which, just intelligence with my tinker's tools, or...?
Yeah, I think it's intelligence. It's intelligence, proficiency, and D20.
That makes it a 21.
21. You think that the way this enchantment works, the Vorn bit of it's kind of immaterial. The gold filigree doesn't really matter. It's the whatever spell was cast on this originally. It has to be made of the same material as the Guardian itself. So the adamantite is the important bit. And there are as you look over it, you see very, very subtle runes carved into the adamantite itself, and whoever did this, it would have been incredibly difficult to carve into adamantite and begin with, so this has taken a long time and a lot of care. You realize that the amulet itself, with its current enchantment, is worth about 1,000 gold by itself. The Guardian to attach it is, you have no idea how much, that you had estimates that ranged in like 10,000 to 100,000 gold. It's like ridiculous.
So my next calculation is the acid from the alchemy jug would not be strong enough to destroy these runes.
Hold on, I have to look at that.
Also, Dean's original thing about what was it? I forget. Was your original question answered?
Sorry, you're playing Minecraft D&D edition now.
I am. Thanks for that.
We're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. what was your original question? Like, could you?
No, it's separating the constituents.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I want to know if I could separate the adamantite into like a slug and then like melt off all the gold and like have the gold for alchemy.
Oh, okay. So you want to separate the gold from the so it wouldn't be a slug. It would still be a medallion.
Yeah, it's like a coin then, isn't it? But then
Yes.
have
The
an adamantite coin.
the only bit that's gold is the Vorn bit.
Yeah.
I could probably
Okay.
remove that.
But I want to know if I can like
Do
kind
it.
of dissolve it with the acid from the alchemy jug.
Okay.
Without damaging the adamantine or other
Yeah,
runes.
and the like combining spell.
Adamantite has no resistance to acid. No natural
What
resistance
does
to acid.
the golem have resistance to acid? I forget, you told me in the
Nope.
rapid fire them, I didn't read it.
It does not. So
Poison.
poison because it's a construct, but it doesn't have a resistance to acid. So you think, knowing what you know, you think the alchemy jug's acid might damage the runes and thus render the amulet inert. So you'll have to find out some other way. You could potentially use your tools to chip the gold inlay out of there, but you're not sure how careful you have to be. Some of the runes are very close to where the Vorn symbols are, so it would be a very tricky process.
Can you only make one thing at a time with your divine forging?
Yeah, that's why I chained the blowpipes together. Why?
Oh, I just I wanted you to do a bit of science on this.
What kind of science?
I want you to like make some slag iron or something to pour into a mold. We can do it later.
Why? What is the goal of the slag iron?
I'm gonna search for some clay
Okay.
on the shore side,
Yeah, I'd say you find some clay. It's rather easy to find.
and I'm just gonna like pack the clay around the amulet and try and then just kind of hold it out and like sun it around while everyone else is getting prepared for this trip.
Okay, you're trying to make a mold of the clay. Make me a
I'm
tinkering
making
check.
a cast
Just make me a tinkering check.
with tinkering with.
Intelligence still.
Okay, that is a 20.
Yeah, you're fine. Make a
I'm
little
gonna
mold.
take some time to boil some of the river water just in case it doesn't rain and we run out of water.
Okay, so you take.
That's fair.
What are you putting the water in? Water
Wa-
skin?
I'll put it in. I'll put it in the water skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's about.
Fill the canoe with water.
Then you'd have to
One
boil
of
the
spare
canoe.
canoes. If the wood's good enough, it should work as long as it doesn't get too hot.
Yeah, you have to
Hey,
actually.
Then the canoe would be damp, so technically it would work.
Captain,
Aye.
you need any of this bug salve?
What is it?
Stops the bugs from biting you.
He's gonna like remember that itch he has on his ass. Please.
First one's free, and I toss him like one serving.
I'll apply it.
So you've all applied. I assume you've all applied bug salve as long as you've still got some.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you spend the time kind of creating, and eventually the materials begin to form and coalesce, and the lights. And you feel
I
that.
should
Feel that.
remove goat from my inventory.
Probably.
As you're doing this, Joseph, you have that same feeling you had in your dream. That feeling of warmth in your chest that you got before, as the materials coalesce into this trestle to sit the canoe on. And
Very satisfied with this work.
yeah, and it's good job. The smallest of voices rings out, like it's distant, like it's being kind of muffled. Just little good job.
Alright, nice. So we have the trestle now. We got a place to tie it to the golem so he can pull it for us.
Okay.
I think we're good to go.
Okay. So,
Anyone else want to do anything before we set off?
Mushrab says, "Where to?"
I think we agreed we'd go back to Port Nianzaru. We may need more supplies, especially with our new friend here. Probably some new clothes. And she could probably do with... I point at the person who's been unconscious this whole time. She could probably do with a real bed, and...
Mushrab,
Yeah.
Captain.
Yes. Yes.
how are the waters around Chult?
Well, how did you get here?
By boat, and it seemed quite easy.
You didn't.
A short distance away, there was that gigantic sea thing. But I was thinking, surely wouldn't it be potentially safer and easier if we went to Port Nyanzaro and took like a small shipping vessel round to where we need to go for you?
You could do. That might be a general possibility, but
That
You'd have
sounds
to
a lot easier than traversing the jungles.
You would have to pay the dragon turtle.
We wouldn't be leaving Chult though. We'd be going
We're
around
not paying
the
him for
outside.
crossing.
The dragon turtle doesn't give two shits. If you're in its waters, you pay the toll.
Like if we just have a little like a raft, it's not gonna be able to get close enough to the island.
I sort of drifted on a piece of wood. I've never came across a dragon turtle or paid any price of anything of any kind on this.
Then you're
Looking at
lucky.
you, it looks like you paid a price.
Then you're lucky, laddie. Let's
How
just say
much
this.
was the
Cheeky
price?
fucker.
It varies. The turtle is a little
Well, surely if we,
capricious.
well, surely if we got someone to take us a vessel around the island, they would also have that price in mind. We could do some research. Right now, our goal should be to get to the port.
There's got to be other ports or bays on Chult. I'm sure they
There are
must
many.
have some kind of.
There are many,
You
laddie.
can always stow aboard a ship.
There's Jahaka Bay, Shulku Bay, Snapping Turtle Bay, Refuge Bay.
I mean, that's all fine as long as we can jump on a ship to one of them.
Yes. You're right. Shilku Bay is closer to Harkanmar, where we want to go. Provided you're still willing to help me retrieve my ancestral weapon.
I see no reason. Like we don't have much else to go on at the moment.
I made no such promises, but if you get me back to the port, then I don't see why I can't lend a hand.
I don't know. Then back to Port Nyanzara we go.
Hey, Captain,
Mm.
just imagine a whole mountain full of female dwarves willing
back.
to do anything to their saviors.
Did you say be right back, Evan?
Be right back. Just 1 second.
Alright.
I don't know. Every time I've come across a dwarven woman, it's been rather a brutish experience. I think a whole mountain full, I wouldn't have a fucking bone left in my body.
It's the beard, isn't it?
Do dwarven women have beards?
Yes.
Also,
Damn. And all that time at the dwarven village, I just thought I'd gone gay.
Dean though, out of character, that the golden line, that's easily removed.
that's
Part of the fun,
yeah,
laddie.
I'm not that bothered about it. I wanted to make like extra necklaces.
Alright, just if you okay.
It's part of the fun, laddie. Getting, checking to make sure they're actually a woman. It's part of the courting ritual.
What happens if they're not?
Wow. Try again. For some. Some are very accepting of the everyone goes, "Oh, you fooled me." It's fine. Fine, laddie. Right. Shall you, one of you make the big golem there? I'll tell him where to go if you just keep us on the straight and narrow. Or
Mark
you could
has
just
the
give me
amulet.
the amulet. I can direct
No,
him.
no.
I don't think
Aye.
getting it out of Mark's hands right now is going to be the easiest thing
Although
anyway.
this dwarf
Well, little,
jacked off fucking gold the other night. He ain't getting that amulet.
Well, you don't know that. Well, little kobold.
What? Yeah, we do.
Oh no, he did it in a gambling.
He hustled them in the game.
I'm checking my pockets now.
It's all there. All there. Everything you had is there. Yeah. He hustled you. He
I
hustled.
didn't have.
He hustled you in a card game. Yeah. Well, in a
Yeah,
dice
and then
game.
I robbed him.
Dice.
What about things I didn't have?
You don't have the things you didn't have.
So I don't have like a snake in my pocket or something.
I'm gonna
No.
help the woman onto the thing.
Okay. So you take the
That's very
time.
kind of you.
The two of you help.
One of them's
Sil,
unconscious.
yeah,
so-
Sil, and you kind of help to get the injured woman onto the deck. Then the rest of you kind of get onto the cart as you kind of make your way to Port Nyanzaru. Right, so he makes survival checks.
Along the river we go.
Hilarious.
Oh, we're gonna have to
Yeah,
cross
so
that
you-
bridge again. This
you
isn't
are-
gonna be easy.
You are going to have to cross that bridge again. As you
We'll
kind of
cross that bridge when we get to it.
as you kind of yeah, as you're kind of going through the jungle, keeping the river to your right hand side so that you can have a very good, easy way of kind of.
Oh,
navigation.
mushroom.
Yes,
Uh,
Laddie.
Wait, Nicholas, can I see the map for a sec?
Yep.
Around here, and I point to a point on the map. We encountered
no, you
some.
can't see it anymore.
Oh, can I borrow the map for a sec?
Keep saying for.
For like a minute, then.
All right.
Sir. So I point to a point on the map.
Remember,
Oh,
remember, Joseph. Incorrect timings is bad for crafting.
right. Around here on the map, and I point a point to the map that we were earlier. We encountered some jungle vines that attacked us. We may want to go around that.
The creeping vines. Don't worry, laddie. They don't move very quickly. All you need to do is just keep ahead of them, and your golem companion can move what? Good, couple of miles an hour. We'll be fine. They come down, just bat them away.
If you say so. And I hand Nicholas back the map.
Okay. So you're gonna have who's commanding the golem, or are you giving them the medallion?
Mark.
Okay. So
Mark is relaying the orders from him, I think.
Okay. So Mushra
Nails.
will say, "Go this way. Make sure you keep the
Yeah,
river
Mark
on your
will-
right hand side."
Mark will
What's
stop
crap?
the golem from spinning constantly at
Okay.
this moment.
Okay. So, and you hitch him up.
Its head's been spinning the whole time it's
You
walking.
hitch Vorn up, get him all
Yeah.
set up, and you carry on through the jungle in your cart. As you're kind of Hmm?
After an hour passes and I get my channel divinity back, I want to use it again to make a compass.
okay, yeah, you can do that. It's probably less than a gold, so a gold will suffice.
Oh, cool! I can make a golden compass.
Well, yeah, it'll be made of gold. It will actually be made of gold, except for two things. Well, one thing actually. The needle isn't gold. The needle isn't gold, obviously. Everything else is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Mark
make it a
is
little
going
compass.
to try something though.
Okay.
Can you make
While
100
relaying the
compasses
orders-
The golden
tied
compass.
together?
Well, it's too late. I've started the ritual. If you want one, I can do it in another 2 hours.
Make a sheet of compasses.
Can I
Okay.
telepathically order the golem?
Compass plate mail.
Could he telepathically command the golem? Cause
I understand languages.
The telepathic stuff doesn't generally work with constructs, though.
Generally,
like, how is it? What kind of telepathy is it? Do they, like, do you project your voice, or do they
Oh,
have
yes.
to have a sentient mind?
Yes, you can. You can telepathically call the guardian to travel to it. As long as,
any
as long
creature
as
that shares a language.
the guardian and its amulet are on the same plane of existence, the amulet's wearer can telepathically call the guardian to it. The guardian also knows the direct distance and direction to the amulet. The only reason that the amulet was lost in the first place is because where you found it, the goblins didn't know what it was, and so they didn't know to do this. So, cool.
No, but I mean my telepathy. does
Yeah,
it
that's
work?
fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It is a language, so yes.
I wanted that information, Evan, earlier. You didn't give it to me.
I didn't see
Or
it in the
Dean.
book.
That's fair.
Or me? What did I have to do with it?
You identified the amulet, so one of us would have gotten that.
Guys,
information. It's
before we
fair.
head out,
Oh, I
could you
thought you
put
meant I
yourselves
withheld
on?
that information. I've
No.
already put myself on Mark.
What do you say? What did you say, Niels?
Before we head out,
Yep.
did everyone put their salve on?
We all have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check yourself for solve. Okay.
You
Buggies
hear,
and
you hear a
bastards.
cricket.
Okay.
And Mark is going to cast his psionic armor before we head out as well.
Okay, so that sets your AC. It's like mage armor, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so you have mage armor on. Okay, so as you travel, can somebody roll me a D100? One person.
I'll roll one side.
Can
Alright,
you
I'll roll
please
the other
roll?
side.
Oh god.
Can I roll
Who's rolling
15?
tens then?
Can he roll
I'm
the other
rolling the
15?
I've rolled the tens. It's 30.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Just roll a d10.
15. Neil's roll of 5. 35.
I'm feeling fine.
Okay, 35. So as you are walking through the jungles,
You die.
You did?
You stumble upon the lost city of Atlantis.
That'd be really weird, considering we're on land.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda jungle.
That's why it's been lost.
Nobody
Look,
knew where to look.
It's lost in Chult, but it's right here.
okay.
135 miles away.
Which route did we initiate? Oh.
Can you drag your tokens onto the map, please?
I don't know how to.
You just drag your
Where are we?
character down here.
That's not where I drag my dog anymore.
Fuck, I'm
Dragging my character is really hard for me.
How do I drag a token on?
Just drag it in.
Just dragging your.
I'm so huge.
Where'd you go?
I don't know. I'm too big.
Oh, I have the wrong curses.
Did you say you had the wrong cursor of Strahd?
Brad, can you pull me in? I'm huge otherwise.
No, you just shrink yourself.
I can't control the shrinkage.
Yeah, you can't shrink it.
Just drag it in and I'll shrink it.
Shrink me. Size me properly. There we go. I'm gonna be on the back of the cart.
Okay, can you put yourself where you'd be on the cards?
First,
Hold on, I'll
which
bring you.
rib would be a. Mar, are you actually riding the golem there?
Oh yeah.
I'll be up front here.
Where did we get 2 cows from?
Don't worry about that. It's because
That's our boy.
I've probably just been looking off the back of the cart and keeping
That
watch.
doesn't work.
yeah, it does. There it goes. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's all fine. Okay, so move you guys all up here.
Where were the cows?
There are no cows. It's just the shield guarding because I needed a cart.
Why is there a shield cow?
Cow
No.
guardian.
Cow guardian.
Where is he?
Where's mushroom ribs?
There. Okay, so as you're traversing through the jungle,
Wouldn't he even have to be sitting at the front to shout orders to Mark?
yeah, I'd be there.
Yeah, and the woman would be in the back with you.
Am I walking?
Where would you be on the cart? Would you be walking along the side of the car? Are those the horse? Are those actual giant horses?
No, they're not giant. They're
No,
just,
they're normal sized horses.
they're just
They're
regular
bigger than the
sized
shield guardians.
So as you're oh yeah, I remember that. That's hilarious.
I want
Like,
my
just walking around the stables and he screamed because there
So-
was
oh
a horse.
fuck's
Okay.
sake, yeah.
You are traversing through the jungles of
Ice
Chult.
cream.
Is ice cream?
Anyways, you're traversing through the jungles of Chult.
Yeah.
The river on your right hand side, but you've kind of detoured a little bit in because there was a bit of patch of jungle that was a little too treacherous for you to kind of walk through with the cart and everything else in it. Vorn is making it easier for you to get to, but you reckon that this jungle really isn't. The cart is probably a very poor solution. If you didn't have Vorn, a horse would be basically useless here. It's part of the reason that you haven't seen anyone else riding around in this area. The jungle is
Can
too
I
overgrown.
discern a better design for wheels to traverse the jungle?
You can try, yeah. But
I suggest teeth to you, Joseph. Like cogwheels.
Oh, that does sound good. I like
Okay.
wheels.
And
So-
threads.
as you're going through, you spot something unusual. 2 horses. They seem to be tethered to some of the foliage in this area. They're both have their heads down and are slowly seem to be munching on the kind of undergrowth of the jungle, chewing up various bits and pieces here and there.
I'm looking in the trees. I'm looking in the trees.
Okay, make me a perception check for things in the trees.
That's awful. That's an 8.
Same. You look around the trees looking for something above you, and you see nothing. The horses continue as you your path is going to take you right by both of them.
Hey, look, horses.
What were we trying to see, Captain?
Make me a perception check, Joseph, as you point out and look directly at the horses.
Trying to make sure nothing's gonna jump down on us. They've got to belong to someone.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Normal. You just said that a horse-drawn cart would be ineffective here, yeah?
I did, yes.
Mishra, what do you suppose there's some horses doing out here in the middle of the jungle? Also, I rolled an 11.
Mushrab looks at the two horses. Probably some laddies who thought they could be clever with the horses. The gauntlet people, the ones who, died back there, they tended to use the horses. Thought it would be clever to try and run the horse through this undergrowth. If you look, a lot of them break their legs and things on the vines and various bits and pieces. I don't know why
surely
those two over there.
With the civilization of people who've learned how to tame dinosaurs, you just write dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs are a bit tricky in terms of actually going through the jungle. They make a lot of noise, if you know what I mean. As you get closer to the horses, make me another perception check, Joseph, unless anyone else is kind of eyeing them.
At this point,
We'll all probably be eyeing fucking horses.
Yeah. So you're watching
I'm
the
very-
horses. Okay.
Into,
Perception checks.
You're walking to them.
You're walking
to them.
overcast, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It is overcast enough for you to kind of maintain you don't have disadvantage on everything right now.
I gave you an umbrella too. Remember, you can always just pop it.
But in this case, if it was bright and sunny, he would be affected because the things that he's looking at are outside of the umbrella.
Oh,
Not just where I am.
but they might be under
also
the trees.
Mm-hmm. So, Phineas, as you're kind of watching these two horses and stare, what did you get, Nicholas?
Oh, was I making a perception check?
Yes, please.
Were you looking at the horses?
Yeah, but not like
Not closely.
with,
Just kind of give him a side eye.
yeah, it's 18.
Okay, so the
That's
two
a
of you.
good side eye.
Yeah. So Phineas and
I've got an eye
Nicholas.
for detail.
So Phineas and Nicholas, as you're kind of looking at these horses, something seems a little off about them. As you notice them kind of when they hunker down to eat, it's not their teeth that are grabbing the foliage. There are tiny little hands that reach out from their mouths and pull things back in. And then it disappears inside it. You also notice that several sections of the horse appear to be decaying and falling off.
That sounds horrifying.
Do I recognize the little hands as I did Chumbawambas?
Is those things? No, it's not those.
Is it the Oompa Loompas?
Your cart is getting closer and closer because both Mark and Musharraf haven't noticed anything.
I also haven't.
Stop the cart!
Stop the cart.
Alright, stop and cut.
Why did the cart go like?
Because
Sideways.
it's like
Would've gone
it's
straight.
more like you're kind of like
Ba-da-da-da-da.
trundling along. Yeah.
Why are we stopping? Do you want to pet the horses?
Taking a closer look at them.
They are undead or are just puppets.
Or just really fucked.
Yeah, but I've never seen a
Let's-
horse eat with hands.
Let's get away from the horses.
As you say that, the two horses rear up a little bit, and now that they're doing this, you can see what everyone else saw, and their mouths open wide. If you've ever seen that picture of a horse that looks like what would a horse look like if it smiled like a dog? That's what happens.
Do they have like their metal horse? Do they have like metal
No,
horse
it's just
armor,
like they're just
or-
like large horses with like
they don't. They're not
So
wearing.
they're
with
happy.
yeah.
They don't have like a saddle or anything.
They look like just unsaddled horses, and their mouths open. That if you've seen that picture of the horse that smiles like a dog, that's what I'm trying to get at. Their mouth opens wider than a horse should, and rats become pouring out of the mouth of these things. So they just as they come falling out of this horse's mouth, a huge swarm of rats. You get close look at them, and you can see right where their little skulls should be. There's little tiny brains that are pulsing.
Oh, that's not right.
I need initiative.
One lighted torch.
Do I recognise these things from stories?
I need to clear this. Hold on.
11.
You would have to roll that quickly. 11. Okay. You forgot to click your token.
I did click my token specifically. I need new mouse.
That means you didn't click your token.
No, it double clicks sometimes. So probably when I click my character sheet, it double clicked off my token.
Okay.
That's not used.
What initiative does Pawn get?
Who is currently holding the amulet?
Mark.
Mark is. He goes on your initiative.
Does he take any of Mark's actions?
He takes Mark's action to command it, I think, but then the Mark can just set a command to follow constantly. Or maybe a bonus action.
Is
I
it
don't
a
know.
free action?
I didn't get that information.
I think all companions act on free actions to orders. It's like once per turn you can give them one order.
Yeah, I'd say it's a free action.
There's now a swarm of rats coming from this horse's mouth.
Yep.
Don't believe everything you hear from the horse's mouth.
Their horse won.
Okay. I think it's going to be Captain going first, so...
Alright, so is it just the horses that are there at the moment? Like,
it's kind of like an amalgamation of both of them. There's huge amounts of rats pouring out of this. They seem to be coming
but
mostly from the
they
mouth.
act as the one thing
They
for
act
now.
as though, yeah, so it's like one target.
Alright. I'm gonna run the 20 feet up to here. I'm gonna make my attacks on it.
Okay?
So it's my first attack, that's a fucking miss.
Yep. So
And the bonus attack.
it's a crit. So the first blade goes... and it goes flying out of your hands into the tree behind him. The second blade, though, because this horse is kind of confused, you manage to get into the next attack.
Alright, so just doubling the first dice, right?
Yep.
So 10. On
That's
the
not 10.
second attack. The first roll was a 5.
You get to add your dexterity to your damage as well, right?
On the offhand,
Oh wait, no.
Oh, you
offhand.
don't. Yeah, you're right. So 10.
10.
Right. He's right.
And with my last 10, my last 10 movement, I'm gonna dodge into the trees behind us. I don't take an attack of opportunity because it's one thing and I've just attacked it.
Okay, so yeah, swashbuckler. Okay, yeah. So You dart out and then dart back in.
Did that attack give you sneak attack?
Yeah, it would have actually. But actually, would that have been on? Could I get that with my off
Yeah, you
lance?
can still,
round.
you can
It's
still get
once
it in
per
your
turn.
Yeah.
Would get it.
Okay,
Yeah, you
so
still get it.
that's 2 and 2, so 4 extra damage.
Sick. That's on the hit you crit though. So would it be
Yeah.
8?
So it'd be 8.
Double the
8.
sneak attack dice as well.
Yep.
Cool.
So 18 points of damage as you slash this horror potion. However, as you do, more of these rats come pouring out. And now... can I... Does this exist?
Where is my sword, by the way?
Swarm of rats.
Brad,
Hey,
where's my sword?
Over here.
Phineas, on a scale from 1 to 20, how protected would you say you are?
Not very.
Snacking
This one
about
pouring out.
34 hit points there.
Okay.
I'm talking
Mark.
about the things.
Alright.
What?
First of all, Mark's going to give a telepathic command to Vaughn saying smash the rat.
Okay.
And he's going to grab a spear.
That means something
but he's not-
completely different, Mark.
He's not going to attack with it just yet. He is going to Mind Slam the first horse nearest him.
Okay.
Mind Slam is, let me remind you,
Mine.
a...
Mine
At
slap.
the back of this booklet.
My spellbook has no useless spells, Yugi boy.
Mind Slam. As an action, you target one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or take 1d6 force damage. If it
Okay.
takes any of this damage and is large or smaller, it is knocked prone.
So I failed the saving throw. So you conjure this mind slam and the horse just, its legs buckle out from underneath it. It splits out all 4 legs in all 4 different directions, just and hits the ground. And then rats just continue to pour out of this thing. Not as quickly as the attack that he did though. This one.
Hold on. I am going to change my psionic focus as a bonus action to the giant growth one, which gives me 5 extra feet of reach.
Okay. So, one of the horse creatures.
Wouldn't
Rat.
the golem
One's
attack?
turn.
The golem's turn, yes. So,
I'm on
golem,
his
can you
I'm
roll
on his shoulder.
on... Can you roll me 1d20 plus 7 for its attack? 2 of them, actually. You get 2 attacks with this guy.
18 and a 23.
So both those hit. Roll 2d6 plus 4 for bludgeoning.
On
Twice.
both hits?
Yep.
Wow.
So the two... This shield goes...
Oh, would he not have advantage since it's prone? Actually.
He does, yes. Actually, that's technically true. Keep rolling, see if you get 2 crits. Or a crit. Nope. Okay. Yeah, so the 2 hits as it bashes this horse into the ground, attempting to batter it to death. Let's see, 16 points of damage. Now it is horse 1's turn. As more of these
vomiting
rats come pouring out of this thing. And the rats begin to scurry and work their way around Vorn. Boom, boom.
Are they like climbing him?
Yeah, they're climbing and trying to bite and just chitter, and they're making an incredible amount of noise.
Oh no, noise. Oh no.
Okay.
Where did
So
I
that
post
one
the
missed.
photos?
What about the other row, I guess?
There you go, next. They're trying to bite all over him. There's hundreds of them just like surrounding Vorn and climbing up his legs and everywhere else, but they can't seem to do any real damage to him. Horse 2 begins to lurch forward. It's to the cranium rats are going here, one after Vorn. That misses, and the other one after the captain. That misses, and then the horse itself looks kind of like there's like not a lot of structure inside of it anymore. A lot of the muscles are just kind of gone now, or what looked like muscle before. You reckon were probably the rats kind of holding it and filling it out, and they pull this horse forward and just lurches forward at you. Nope, that misses. Fucking hell, I rolled crap today. That's 2 horses done. Nicholas.
Alright, now, if I Thundermongered, would that, like, knock everything asunder?
Thunder Wave?
No, Thundermonger. It's my cannon.
Uh,
That aspected cannon blast.
what does it do?
Just as thunder damage.
It makes noise.
Unless it says it knocks back, no.
I wouldn't send the rat scaring.
Well, you don't know. You've never seen rats like this before. You can see the picture of them, actually. If you zoom in on their token.
They're smart. I'm just gonna, if I hopped up onto the wagon, would I provoke an attack from the rats near me? Or are they not on me in the sense of...
They're not.
They're on top of Orn.
They're on top of Vorn at the moment. They're kind of more like on
I'm
him.
gonna hop, so I hop onto the wagon.
Yep.
Or onto the canoe, whatever the fuck this is.
Okay.
And then I am going to... There is not much I am just going to take a pot shot at like the horses. They're deflating, so they don't look like a threat at all.
They're deflating, but there's no moving. Yeah. So it's a little weird as to what constitutes a
I'm
threat.
gonna blast the rats near Captain.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
That hits. Yeah. Sure.
That was with Thunder Cannon. 4 damage plus 2. So
Wow.
a total of 6 damage because I rolled 2 ones.
So you fire off a shot and take out a number of these little rats, and they go scurrying, and all the rats turn towards you, and you hear in your mind, "Do not interfere with us."
Psychic death threats.
Yeah, that's funny, Mark.
What?
Joseph.
I'm gonna yell at Mark. Get off Orn quick.
Hold on, I need to check something.
No. I have a plan. Trust me.
Wait.
Then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Sanctuary upon myself.
I think I know what you're gonna do, by the way, Monto.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need
I like
to-
it.
I'm gonna click it just to see where it
Yeah. Means I have to make a wisdom saving throw. Yep. Okay. Joseph?
I'm gonna yell at Mark to get off Vorn. And I'm gonna hold my action so that when he does, I want to cast Heat Metal on
Knew
Vorn.
it.
Okay. Right.
I also yelled Trust.
Mushrib. So, Syl is basically just trying to protect her charge. She's going to cast Sanctuary on herself. Oh no, she's going to cast Sanctuary on the injured woman. And then she is going to hold her action as well. Mushrab is going to take a shot. He pulls a crossbow from somewhere in his robes and misses the rats. You're really mean to me today, Dice. And just and misses the rats completely. And now it is the captain's turn again.
Alright, okay. So, I want to use my action to disengage, so I can get away from these two, right?
Yep. Okay, that's fine.
Actually, wait, I can
The
bonus
bonus
action.
action
I can
is
bonus
the-
action to disengage.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a rogue.
10, and then that's 15. So that's 25 to get around to here.
Yep. So you hide,
Um,
duck behind this rock formation.
I can get to here. I could use my action to dash and get my sword.
You could have just go through them with the disengage, could you not?
True. Yeah.
Could I do that? Can you?
Yeah. You can disengage and go straight through them.
All right. Okay. Yeah, why not? I'll do that then. If I was here, wasn't I?
To describe how that looks, like in terms of what it's looking like.
Which?
Like the
bushes.
the disengage. Like what does this look like? You disengaging and diving through these horses and this swarm of rats.
Well, I'll do like a bit of fancy footwork around the rats, and I'll try and jump on a log off the the rock and kick off past the horse and run for my sword.
Your
Are you not
skill.
going to- You could have jumped through the horse.
Yeah.
It was a missed
I
opportunity.
imagine like you're just hot footing from left to right with your sword, passing it from hand to hand, going hey ha, and then like you like like when you fake throw a ball for a dog, you do that and then run.
Like that. Yeah, this works. And then you slide over, pick up your other sword. Anything else?
I'll grab that. How much feet of movement was that? I was. This is weird.
25.
So can I get just behind here? Can I use my action to? I could just get to here-ish.
You
can't
can
I?
use your action to dash if you want.
Or hide, or whatever else you want to do.
Yeah, I'll hide. I'll use my action to hide. Why not?
Okay. So you use your action to make a stealth check.
26.
Okay, yeah, you're hidden. You dive into some like undergrowth and disappear. Mark.
Alright. Mark's going to take a swing at the rat over here that's climbing forward.
Yep. Okay, so you are in melee with all of them, by the way, just to let you know.
No, I'm on top of Fawn. Fawn's big.
Vorn is big, but these rats are basically around him.
They're standing on each other and shit.
Yeah.
Neil?
This is awful. This is like, imagine if you could, imagine if you will, a river of rats, and Vorn is about like chest high in it. That's what this looks like right now. They are swarming and surrounding him.
I'm hitting a 9 with the spear. Does that not hit? Does not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
and then Mark's just gonna jump off, risking an opportunity attack from this
From
one. I just
3 rats.
No, but the rest of them aren't close enough, right? Come on.
It's like a swarm. That's why I tried to describe it to
Yeah,
you.
but
They're
Fawn
each...
is huge.
No, he's
Can't
large
all be
actually.
within 5 feet of me.
He's large actually.
He's large, Mark is small though.
It will be one opportunity attack from the horse as well, though.
The horse is right there.
The horse is right there.
I'm gonna jump.
Okay, jump. That's the last
Go
opportunity.
ahead.
Do I need to make a athletics check for a nice little backflip off the floor?
I would say so, yeah.
If-
Where's my acrobatics? Acrobatic.
Roll a 1. No.
Yeah, you're fine. You're small and light enough to kind of make that jump, but as you're jumping, a number of the rats kind of see you. You won't get away from us! And
Do they make
try-
their opportunity attack before or after I get my held action?
Before, because it's not. Yeah, so 15. So-
So allow them to try and hit me. Come on.
Okay, so does 19 hit you? No, 20 hit you.
What is the passive bonus I get from Fawn?
+2.
You get 2.
Nope. Then
Okay.
I'm currently at 21 AC.
The horse, however, rears up as you come up in the air and comes down on you with 2 hooves. That's 24.
That does hit. Yes.
You take
Don't forget to have it.
13 points of bludgeoning damage, half to 7. So Vorn takes 7 as well.
I thought everything was rounded down in 5e.
Oh yeah, you're right. Rounded down.
6.
So 6 each.
60.
So I'll
take
keep. Yeah.
4 points of damage.
So, and then there's like this weird moment of kind of, and Vorn sees this little hoof print appear on part of his armor.
Alright.
Uh,
Use my held action. I'm casting heat metal on Vorn.
okay, it just happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a thing that just happens, and all the other rats, since they're on him, also take the damage.
That is true. Okay, so Vorn makes a Constitution saving throw to take
The
half
Constitution saving throw is like for him to drop anything he can drop, which he can't.
Okay, so yeah, he can't drop because he's that. So he
You
takes.
could have dropped me, fuck you.
So
That's
Vorn
why I told
goes.
you to jump.
Begins to glow, bright hot, but then do the cranium rats, because they're just on him. Could they? Okay, I'm gonna give them a Constitution saving throw to jump off.
The
of him.
Constitution saving throw is to let go. They still take the damage.
But they can still jump off and let go.
Yeah, they can let go if they succeed, but the damage still happens if
Okay.
they succeed Constitution.
Can you link the spell card, please?
Oh, how do I do that?
If you can't, I can look it up.
No, that just did it again.
I just did it again. Okay, it's fine. We'll say for the purposes of
I can
they
post it in
can't.
chat really fast.
Is Vaughn immune to the fire of
No,
heat metal?
No, how do I end a concentration thing, by
you
the
can
way?
just end it as a free action.
At will.
You can do it at will, yeah.
That's what it says.
Choose a manufacturer metal object, choose a metal object, choose a metal object, when you cast a spell. Any creature in physical spells. Okay, so yeah, they just take damage. If a creature is holding or drop the weapon. Okay. No. Yeah, so they take damage. They take 13 points of damage each. So you see this, like, he begins to glow bright red as all of the rats around him just, like, and you hear in your minds, all of you, this kind of very loud, like, scream, high-pitched, like, they all take
If all the rats
13,
drop off of Orn, I'll just end the concentration.
23.
Vorn, I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So they all, they don't move off of him, yet.
That
think it should-
also means it's Vaughn's turn.
Yes, it is. It's Vorn's turn. So Vorn,
Did he make
is-
the Constitution save?
him.
Yeah. He
Uh,
also has to make it early. He has. Wait, no. Oh, or he drops the object. Never mind.
yeah. If he doesn't drop it,
He
he
has
can't drop it. So
disadvantage
he
on
has
attacks.
he has disadvantage on
But
attack
he al-
rolls.
But if he's attacking the horse, then that equals. He's just fine.
He's attempting to scrape the rats off of him, but he can't seem to do so. He can't seem to kind of reach and kind of pull them off. I'm actually. You
Oh, you
need
didn't
to
let
roll.
me roll.
Yeah, please roll it, Mark.
Disadvantage?
Yep. So yeah,
Oh.
actually, yeah, he's fine. So he goes. First
Does that
attack,
also
second
do
attack,
extra damage to the rat since his hand is red hot?
maybe. Second attack,
Second attack.
it's 2 attacks. Second one misses. So you've kind of managed to pull his arm on like these rats and kind of just and just throw a whole bunch of them around. Roll damage for him. Which is 2d6.
Is there no music, or is it just my roll 20?
It's just your roll 20.
There's some music. It's mostly forest noises.
9. No, it's not.
is.
Should be.
It like faded out. It's
Yeah.
coming back in.
Okay. So that's 9 damage. Okay.
I just
So these rats get scraped off of him. But the other two are kind of still swarming around him. Now, horse's turn. They're not going to stay on that. And they're smart enough to know where the cast came from. They're going to move and begin to swarm up the side of the cart. And they occupy the same space as you. Same with this one.
do you want me to move slightly? Like,
Yeah, that'll be fine. The first set will risk the attack of opportunity for Vorn. If you want to make 2 attack rolls again.
To your disadvantage.
Yep. That misses. No, one at disadvantage.
You set 2 attacks.
I meant it's an attack of opportunity. 1 attack. 2 at disadvantage. That's what I meant. Okay, so the cranium rats swarm up the side of the thing and begin to just surround and envelop Joseph, and he, for a minute, disappears under the cranium rats. Does a 18 hit you?
No.
Does a 22 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay, so the cranium rats are biting and nipping and scratching through your armor. The first wave of them doesn't seem to get through, and then they get closer to your head, near where the points in your armor are weakest, and you take 12 points of piercing damage as they rip and snap and pull scales from you.
Give me a second.
That's gross.
Yep.
That grows mine.
I haven't gotten to this cranium rat,
What is
actually.
the AC of these rats?
Higher than 14.
They quick.
They are quick.
But there's so many of them.
Yeah, they're quick.
Oh my god.
And they're also acting as a hive mind.
That.
Breaks heat metal.
Yeah.
So heat metal drops automatically. And Vorn stops glowing red. This cranium rat is going to move this way and attack Mark. As it comes underneath the thing and kind of swarms around your legs. You're no longer within 5 feet of Vorn. Does 18 hit you?
Nope.
Okay, so those rats are just like, they're bouncing off of your magical armor. And nothing happens. This horse is going to try to hit Warren. That is... 17. He's fine. I know. So, yep, that hits. So Vorn takes not very much. He takes 7 points of damage. Okay. This set of cranium rats. Don't know where you've gone, but they can see the cart. They're going to swarm up onto the nearest target they can see. So they're going to go for Nicholas.
Did I get a turn before the rats?
You get to turn after the rats, actually.
Okay.
And they're going to go for Nicholas. Nicholas, does 14 hit you?
Did they make a wisdom save?
Oh, yes, they need to make a wisdom saving throw. So they need to pick a new target. The only other target next to them is Joseph or Mushrab, and Joseph's closer, so they'll go for Joseph.
What about the woman in the cart? I hate to bring that up, but
That's fair enough. Yeah, they're right behind. They're kind of like there and there.
Another wisdom saving throw because they also.
One of them has sanctuary, yeah. So they're not gonna.
If it starts spinning.
It spins for a second. Okay. Syl.
my sanctuary.
Okay, so Syl, Mushrab, injured woman, Joseph. So they're going for Mushrab. They hit him. And he disappears under the swarm.
Is this like an actual mechanic they have?
Yeah.
Like disappearing under the swarm?
Yeah. Kind of.
Oh.
You hear cries of agony as Mushrab is just enveloped by these things. Bites and blood begins pouring out of this area. The horse makes its way towards and is going to attempt to bring its hooves down on the cart. and more specifically onto Nicholas. But it's mainly aiming at the cart, trying to just basically shatter it.
Wisdom check.
Wisdom check on him. You roll a 19. I assume that beats your DC. So he's going to hit 10.
19.
Yeah, 19
Yeah.
on the die. So he's going to attempt it at Nicholas. 15 plus 4. That's 19 again. For attack. Is that a hit?
Okay.
Okay. So you take... Oh, 8. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And let's see how the cart fared.
It's made of metal.
81. As these large hooves come flying down, because Nicholas actually took a hit, it took the brunt of the damage, but one of the hooves hits the ground and goes pling, and sounds almost like a bell ringing out. That's both horses. Nicholas.
Alright. I'm going to. Can I hellish rebuke the horse?
You can.
Alright. I hellish rebuke the horse.
Okay.
It comes out of my gun. That is 16 points of rebuke.
Yeah, dead. The horse just gets enveloped by flame and covered, and it just vanishes and turns to ash.
I let out a little maniacal laughter as my tiefling heritage burns bright.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just kind of club at these boys with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Why did I click that?
You're far enough away. You could shoot one of them.
I'm not.
He's in melee with a
You
shitload of
shoot
them.
the one at Mark.
Oh yeah, never mind. I forgot how that rolls.
I could
work.
shoot the one at Mark. Yeah, I could, couldn't I?
You'd still be at
I don't know.
disadvantage.
Yeah, I forgot how those rules work. If any enemy is within 5 feet of you, have
Yep.
disadvantage on anything.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. So you just go and you cure yourself. Okay.
6.
Joseph. Underneath the pile of swarming rats, what do you do?
Yeah.
They're kind of
Um,
chittering and making noises around you, and you hear
What
in your
kind of-
minds.
Type of creature are the rats?
You don't know.
Well,
You've
they
never
came out
s-
of an undead horse. So.
They did come out of an undead horse, so
So, like, can I assume that there's some kind of undead? Like, hyper intelligent?
you
Still
might
look
make
more
Want to make a
bestial.
check?
that assumption. You make an either a religion or a straight intelligence check if you have it. If you don't have religion. Yeah. These are not undead. They don't give off the right smell. The horses aren't probably undead either. They're probably more akin to a construct in a lot of ways. They're being manipulated by the cranium rats.
But they definitely still want to eat me.
Oh yeah, they want to eat you. They've made that clear.
Alright.
Exactly, yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and cast that there Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, so Shield of Faith.
That's,
It's a bonus action, right?
Yeah,
is it?
I think so.
It doesn't say on this thing. I have to look it up really fast. It
Bonus
is
action.
a bonus action, yeah. Alright, is there some kind of special scrape off rats check, or can I just attack them?
You can just attack them. You kind of like scraping and pushing and smashing things if you want to do it.
Yes.
Go
Hit
ahead.
him with my hammer.
That hits just.
Oh man, it's like whack-a-mole.
The one that's directly on you, I assume.
Yeah.
The one that bit me.
Okay.
Clunk.
Mash.
So you managed to just kind of like, and just a huge chunk of this swarm comes flying off. You can breathe again as you come out from under these rats, and just like huge. They're just like kind of on your legs and chest and try to snip and bite and crap and get through you. So you can move if you want.
Move where?
Yeah, exactly. Mushrab, he is going to attempt to get out from underneath these. Yeah, he smashed the shit out of them.
Actually, I'm gonna.
We're smashed.
If I hop off the cart, does that invoke opportunity?
Yes.
You're covered in rat.
All right.
You're covered in rats, yes. So you're gonna stay where you are, so 7. So Mushrab managed just to smash a few out, and he kind of goes. As you see Mushrab, he is covered in small wounds across his face, and one of his eyes is missing.
Well, we're gonna have to get that back.
I can crack one.
So he manages to push one of the rats. Yeah, manages to push one of the rats off.
Mushrab's eye is gone.
Mushrab's eye is gone.
Lol.
Lol.
Take that, Mushrab.
Okay, back at the top of the round. Captain.
Hey.
Captain.
Yeah. Alright, can I get to this horse and jump on top of it by climbing over this shit?
Yeah, I'll say you can. Make an acrobatics check.
I want to eviscerate it when I get there. I won't use my action or shit, will it?
You want to just jump on top of it and gonna go... No. You won't use your action to. It's more like the movement, part of the movement.
You can
All
fall
right.
off the cliff wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, jump off that giant stone face.
What am I making?
Acrobatics.
That's
Yeah, you're
21.
fine.
I want
In
to
the
get
air?
over there.
2 blades in the air.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump onto this thing.
Okay.
I get my sneak attack as well, right?
Yeah, Vorn's in melee.
Alright, so I get this
That
19.
hits. Yep. Roll damage.
I'll roll the damage on that. That's only a 5. That's ass. But I get the sneak attack on that, which is 11.
Yeah. As
And then I'll
As you-
it
no,
as
no.
an 18.
no, first stack's done enough. As you come down with the first blade,
Well, you have
Oh,
to know
okay.
if
Lock-
there's more rats in it.
you lop the horse's head clean off and just boom land in front of it on the other side.
Oh, you'd still have your bonus action too.
Oh, good. How much movement was that? 20. Can I get to the one and attack? Try and bonus action marks one.
Yeah, I'll say you can do that.
Alright, I'll run to this space. I'll bonus action marks one.
Okay.
Oh well, it was the 18. Should I roll? I kind of already rolled it. But...
I'll let you have the 18.
Okay, so that's
So
4 anyway.
the second attack, you manage to jam, like shish kebab a bunch of rats as you jam the sword through from it and pull a bunch of them out. And a couple of them are still alive, they're squirming.
Can I?
The rest of us will kill you!
Can I?
Oh,
keep
by the
them
way,
for
I meant to
barbecue.
Yeah, with my religion check, since I know about as much as I can about these rats, do I know if they're a fine delicacy in some land?
Probably actually, the cranium rat is quite well. You also know one other fact about them. They're usually the servant of something called an elder brain.
Oh, jeez.
It's in the horse's ass.
Okay. Mark.
Oh, these things are interesting.
What, there's gonna be like a mind flayer thing on this? Like an elder brainy mind flayery thing?
It's gonna be it's Eradicate with a giant brain,
Oh
probably.
no!
Oh, Lowland Eradicate.
Mark's gonna try and dagger him without damaging the brain on the head, but just slashing the rest of the rat to bits.
Should you trying to be careful so you have disadvantage on this? Oh no, you have pack tactics. You're fine. You flat roll. That hits.
15 for 8 damage.
8 damage. So you stab down and get a couple of the rats, and you manage not to damage the brains. They die very slowly. As you manage, you kind of like stabbing them in the ground.
What's that?
Vorn. He's going
Close
to
the one.
continue to smash rats. Okay, so roll 2d20 and add 7.
Still disadvantage?
No, that wore
No,
off.
because he's not on fire anymore.
That hits.
And the bottom one does not.
The bottom one does not. So the first one's 2d6 plus 4, I think. So 10 damage to this rat.
Oh, that's 2d. Yeah, wait, I didn't add the plus 4.
No, it didn't. It's fine. It's just 10 damage.
Plus 4.
So he smashes down onto this. He takes both fists in the air and goes. As he reaches back up, there's this just rat guts as he kind of pulls his
Jelly.
big fist. Yeah.
Is it like a fine jam?
Right. Cranium rats go. They're gonna try and. They're gonna go after both Mushrab and because they're already on top of him. I'll do the ones on Joseph first. So Joseph.
Yeah.
16 doesn't hit you. 22 does though.
No, it doesn't.
I know
just
16.
buffed my AC.
What did you buff your AC to?
23.
Okay, then yeah. The rats that thought they were gonna get you bounce off this shield of faith, and you take no damage that turn.
Wait,
Mushrab, however.
how much did you buff it by? That's amazing.
2.
Your
Mushrab
AC
is
was
going to
21.
take-
Oh my god.
Yeah, Forge Cleric. I get to wear heavy armor.
8, 9, 10. Mushrab disappears again under the swarm of rats.
Would the heavy armor be an 18? And so what?
I also had a shield.
Plus a
Oh,
shield.
to 20, and then what brings the extra 1 to 21?
You got play mail.
18, 20, 22.
What?
Shield of Faith is 3, isn't it?
Shield of Faith gives 2.
Okay, so you should be 22.
What? No, because
18 is plate.
what? How is this calculating
Shield is
armor?
Shield is
How do
When I
you
2.
get
equip my
the-
armor,
There's one more you get from something.
I have
Yeah.
a shield.
Yep,
Wait,
that's 18, 20. 22 is Shield of Faith.
plate armor give how much?
18. It sets your armor class to 18.
Sets my armor class when I have both of them equipped to 21.
Do you have a feat that gives you extra armor class? Because there is one of 2 of those.
I'm a lizard man. I don't get feet. Wait.
No,
Do
that
you get
doesn't
an
matter.
extra AC from Lizardman, or...?
You do actually
Is
get an
there
extra
any-
AC from Lizardman. Come to think of it.
If I'm not wearing armor, or unless the lizard man base gives AC.
Lizardman base, it's AC. It's part of the third thing. So yeah, I'll say, well, for purposes of keeping things moving, we'll say you get it. Okay, so they didn't hit you. They hit Mushrab. Mushrab disappears again underneath the cranium rats. Now the last one on Mark. That's not going to hit, so you don't get hit. But Nicholas.
Alright. I am going to. I guess the only thing I can really do is melee. I'm gonna start stabbing at them with my scissors.
Okay. With your scissors.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it misses.
Okay, so you trying to stab these things with your scissors, you miss. Joseph, underneath this pile of rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna smash. Wait, is this a bonus action as well? Why did none of my spells say what kind of action they are?
I don't know. What spell is it?
Oh, Cure Wounds.
That's an action.
Alright, no, I'm gonna smash.
Okay, go ahead. That hits, yeah. So you scrape these things off. Doing 5 points of damage. Okay, so you smash the rats off of you, get a couple more off. There seems like the swarm is kind of dying down now. That's Joseph's. We're back at the top of the round, Captain.
Alright. I guess I'll just make my 2 attacks on this rat
Sure.
swarm that's on him.
Go ahead.
The 19.
That hits. Roll damage.
That's 8, and I get sneak attack because it's in 5 feet of
You
someone
do,
else,
but
right?
don't bother, because the first attack, and you manage to get the last couple of the rats, and this swarm just dies, and there's nothing kind of holding it together. There's a bunch of more of them over there. You finish the last of that rats.
And can I dash to the side and sneak attack the ones on Joseph with the offhand if I hit?
Yeah,
Alright. 25.
that hits.
So 1 plus 5 on the sneak attack.
Okay, so you take 6 damage. Most of the rats from this swarm have disappeared. Did I actually set Joseph's? No, I didn't. I grabbed the rat. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So a bunch of these rats disappear. There's only about 2 or 3 left in this swarm. Mark.
Ow! There's a lot of rats. Oh shit, mushroom! Mark's gonna mind thrust the rats on the mushroom.
Okay. Is that a push attack as well, isn't it?
Mind slam.
Oh, okay.
Mind slam. It's the prone. They got knocked prone.
Okay.
It is a Constitution saving throw.
They rolled a 17 on the die.
They succeeded.
They're good at saving throws. As you kind of do this, you are like us. Powers of the mind you have.
It's fucking Jar Jar Binks.
Swarms.
Kill it.
Swarms. Okay, so that's your attack bonus
Am
action.
I within 5 feet of those rats?
Yeah,
But they're on the card.
they're kind of on the cart, but you're within 5 feet of them, so it's like a dimensional thing.
Okay. I'll just.
Because they're mostly on Mushreb.
I will snap my fingers towards Vaughn and telepathically tell him, "Come save Mushroom."
Okay. So Vorn moves to here, trying to push kind of everyone out of the way of him. And he reaches into where Mushrib is and tries to pull him out. So that's what he's going to do. He succeeds. He reaches one of his giant fists inside and kind of pulls a very bloody, beaten-looking Mushrib and puts him on his shoulder.
Get on.
Mushreb is like shivering and shaking at this point. He's clutching his eyes. He tries to kind of focus on what's happening. Now for the rats. They move as one over to Mark.
Oh boy.
They know you're psychic
Covered
now.
in rats.
They know you're psychic now.
Fucking covered in rats.
I fixed my armor issue.
So it is 22.
I dragged in the plate mail and it set the actual item to 19 AC for some reason.
Weird. Okay, whatever. You get one opportunity attack from the...
From Vaughn.
Vorn doesn't get one because they're all still in melee from Vorn.
Do me and Eric get one?
You and Nicholas get one.
You and Nicholas get one. Eric's still in melee. So
they actually move out of melee range from me.
Yeah. They've swarmed over. Okay, make 2
Whip
attacks.
out the gun. Misses.
Okay, so yours hits, smashes a few of the rats as they go by. Okay, but they're making a whole shite load of attacks against you. That's 20. That's another hit. Does 25 hit you?
He's next to Horn right now.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, I know. That's why I asked.
25 does.
25 does. So one was a natural 20, and one was 25.
What kind of damage are they dealing?
Piercing. 6, 11, 17, 18, 22 points of piercing damage.
Oh!
That's from the crit.
That guy. Oh god, that's one of the attacks? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that was
was
one
a
of the
crit.
attacks. It was a crit.
Mate, what the fuck?
4d6 plus 4. And I rolled 2 5s and 2 6s. The other rats, there are a lot less of them. They do 8 points of piercing damage. as they kind of.
In total, I just took 15 points because it gets halved, right?
Yes. So because Vorn's standing there,
I am still standing just because I'm an immortal. I
I've made
have
that.
2 temporary hit points every time I take a turn.
okay.
That's the only reason I am
So you
still
have,
standing.
so you have 2 temporary hit points? No, you have 2 hit points
Ev-
left.
Every time, yeah, at the moment I have 2 hit points left because
Okay.
those temporary hit points was the only thing keeping me alive right now.
Okay,
Like
so
those 2 points I had meant I didn't go unconscious just now.
Remember when you were knocking them in temporary hit points last session?
Yeah, but no, that wasn't on my thing, was it?
okay. So remember, he takes 15 as well. He's taking a little bit of damage, but he'll probably regenerate it very quickly. Okay, that's their turn. Nicholas.
I'm gonna shoot again.
He's just covered in rats now.
I reload and I shoot,
Okay.
and it misses.
Okay, not a natural 1, I assume.
Yeah.
Was it a natural 1? Okay,
No.
that's fine. It's important in this case
Yes, it was not.
because you can't see where Joseph is. Mark is anymore. There are too many
If
rats.
I can't hit anything in 4 rounds, I don't think I'm gonna hit Mark.
Would you like some help with that?
Joseph. There's a
I
pile swarming rats.
I can't see Mark.
Nope. You can't see Mark.
Who? I just thought of something kooky, but that's not a rule. We're gonna smash some of the rats off Mark, I guess.
Okay.
Or wait, is Moodrab down? Or
Mushrib's not down. He's up on Vorn's shoulder. He's bleeding very badly, and he looks quite. There's lots of blood coming out of his eye, but he's alive. He's kind of shaking quite a lot as well.
well, alive is better than being covered in psychic rats. So we're gonna smash.
Yeah.
Okay. That hits. Yeah, you smash through and.
Which is amazing because it didn't hit me. Regardless.
3 points of damage. So you smash through these rats, trying to kill as many as you can. You manage to clip 2 and they go flying off into the jungle over your shoulder. But it looks like there's enough of the swarm left to kind of maintain itself. Right. Mark. No, Captain next. Sorry.
Is it one giant mound of rats now, basically? So
One
I'm
giant
hitting
mound.
effectively all of them. If like,
Yeah,
Imagine-
kinda.
can I just try and cleave some off the top so I'm not hitting Mark, or like?
Yeah, you can try and kind of like just make sure you're trying to be careful not to hit Mark. So I'll say you have disadvantage to make sure you don't hit Mark. In the case, yeah, Monto
That kinda makes
wasn't being careful, but he rolled
But
well, so he's
at the
okay.
same time, if you're being careful but you have disadvantage, then that feels like you have more of a chance to hit Mark.
No, because even if he rolls by being careful, he means that he doesn't. There's no chance of him hitting Mark.
Alright.
What is it that I have to roll to not hit Mark exactly?
You don't know. It doesn't matter anyways, really, because it's all the
Fuck
dice
it, with
roll.
the amount of them that there are, I don't think I'm going to be careful. I think I just need to try and get them off of him.
Okay, yeah. You can always try to
Alright,
reach in and pull him out the same way Vorn did.
And get bitten?
It's a risk you take, yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
Okay.
I haven't known him long enough to throw myself out of a load of brain rats, so I'm just going with 2 hits.
Okay, so
That's a 24 and a 25.
both of those hit.
24 and a 20 and a
And the second one is a 2, but I get my sneak attack because it's within thingy of him, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah.
So,
you
6.
spin like a Beyblade. And
I spin like a Beyblade.
Yeah, so you manage to clear off and just huge chunks of rats go everywhere as you're kind of. You can actually see Mark under this pile of rats now. It is now Mark's turn.
There you go, boy.
they're still kind of like around his legs and everything as they're trying to they're actually trying to bring him down to the ground now. They're trying to pin him to the ground. The last couple of
Don't
ones.
look down.
They won't do that. They
Sucks.
should have done that earlier.
Mark,
We will feast on your brains for our master.
Oh boy, Mark's enjoying this. And as he looks at his feet, at all the rats,
Yeah.
he's just going to grin and grow to large size.
Make my monster grow.
Okay, so you go to large size.
Giant growth, I gain 10 temporary hit points because of that.
Okay, so you're at
Is that
12.
stacked with the 2 I have? Or does
No,
my
temporary hit
Good.
points, you get 10. So you're at 10 now. Temporary hit points do not stack.
I am also going to touch myself on the chest
Okay.
and roll
Sorry.
8 to heal myself. Oh fuck, that's bad.
So you heal for 5. Okay.
That's so bad. And I'm just going to tell the rats, bow down to your new master then.
Make an intimidation check. Or
Fucking hell.
yeah, it's intimidation. It's definitely intimidation.
Can we fight the Lich with a fucking army of brain rats?
They, yeah.
Do I not get advantage because I'm huge as fuck now?
Yeah, but how big is the cranial overlord or whatever it's called?
Yeah, they're more
Oh,
scared of that
man.
than they are of you. Size doesn't really come into a factor in their case. That's a good point.
I mean, they just
You
take
do
that fucking
not-
warhorse.
You do not scare us!
Well, I should.
Right. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Does Vorn
Um,
smash?
Smash.
Yeah, Vorn smashes. You want him to. His
Smashes
you have to give him an order, though.
Oh god. Give him the order.
He will still try and save me when I'm in danger though, regardless.
Regardless.
Regardless of the order I gave him to save. Because
Yes.
the other guy is saved already and I'm in danger right now, so I don't need to order him, right?
Yes.
Mark was in danger, and he is technically closest to the rat, so he is
Yeah.
in the most danger.
Yeah, but the
Vorn-
the original order, yeah, so overrides him. So
Vorn
yeah,
would
make
just
2 attacks.
smash right now.
Make 2 attacks. Oh, goody. They're still on you. Can you guess what happens?
Your leg.
Rolling a, yeah, that hits. Does that hit you?
The 24?
Just 4, yeah. Because I was gonna have you roll another attack roll on you.
The 19 armor class, I get 2 extra. Yes, that does hit me, yes.
Yeah, so as he's coming down to hit these rats that are kind of swarming around your leg, he misses slightly and hits you in the leg. Roll 2d6 plus 4 damage. So you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as his gigantic fist comes smashing into your leg.
But this gets halved between me and himself.
Yeah, so it bounces back to him. So you
Make a concentration check now.
Both of us take 3
oh
damage
yeah,
then?
make a
That
concentration check. Yeah, he's right. Make a concentration check for enlarge. That fails. You drop back to normal. You lose the 10 temporary HP, and you're
Do
back
I
down.
lose those when I get it to normal?
After you get hit, I think.
Yeah, after you get hit, not at before. So you're at 2 again. No, you're at
I'm
You're
at
at
2 temporary hit points.
yeah, you're at 2 temporary hit points again. Okay.
I'm
But he
just-
still gets his second attack. So you make your second attack as you shrink back down to normal size.
Another crit fail.
That hits fine. Go 2d6 plus 4. That was a good hit. And now the rat's turn. The rats are going to make one last ditch effort to try and down you. 23. I'm guessing that hits.
For fuck's sake, that does hit, yes.
These
You
fucking
take-
Superman rat roll.
You take
My fucking heal didn't heal me for shit all.
11
Wait.
points of piercing damage. As the rats kind of, the last couple of them are kind of swarming mostly around your neck, because that's where they're going for now.
Is it half to 5?
It is half to 5.
Alright.
Please tell me you're still alive. Wow.
I'm still stuck. Mate, temporary hit points and share damage.
So they're just kind of like, there's a couple of these rats kind of like biting around your neck and things trying to get you down. Nicholas.
Alright. So if I shoot, do I still have a chance to hit my boy?
There's most of the rats are now on his neck. You think if you take a shot at him, you're going to have to either be very, very careful and then thus take disadvantage, or go up and kind of pull them off of him.
I believe in the heart of the die, so I'll go with disadvantage.
Okay.
So it's 1. I rolled the same number twice, motherfucker. That is a 16.
That hits. So you aim very carefully.
With the thunder cannon. Cannon!
Yeah.
But I've
It's
got
not,
good aim.
it's not the thunder needle cannon, it's a cannon.
How much?
That's 9
needle?
damage, which is like triple my crit damage.
So the rats just come exploding off as this cannon fire just very carefully goes, and the rats are dead. Laddies, where are you? I can't see.
Is Mushrib's eye anywhere?
Make a
Has he got
perception
one
check.
or two? Or none?
He's got one eye closed, and the other one is over. One of his hands over the other eye.
Put him down, Vaughn, put him down.
He puts him down.
In front of me!
Yeah.
And I'll heal him.
Mark, wait.
I'll heal him regardless.
Yeah, wait.
Quick heal.
I rolled a 20 on my perception check.
Okay, so you heal him for 4. So he gains 4 HP. So you're gonna 15. As you're looking around, you do spot a very chewed up, mangled eye in one of the rat's mouths.
I'm taking it out.
You pull the
Put
eye
back
out.
into sucker and then heal him. See what it
Yeah. Oh, hold on, this
that
is...
work? Because technically you're not regenerating the body part because you have the body part.
Mooshrab's
Yeah.
covering his eye. What are you doing?
Hold on, this is going to hurt.
What?
I'm gonna move his hand away and put the mangled eye in his eye socket.
Make a medicine check.
Alright.
Yeah, so
It's
you
backwards,
slowly,
upside
very, very slowly and carefully put this eye back into its spot.
And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay?
How do I do that?
When you click it, it should allow you to cast it at next level. It should ask you. Yeah, there you go. So it's
this-
9 HP. I'll say that's enough. You kind of very carefully
Forging
focus
itself back together.
focus the curative energies back in. Your curing magic is kind of reddy, glowy, a bit like a forge's light, and the eye slowly heals.
Wounds and cuts begin to like weld themselves back together.
Yeah, very good. As it kind of like slowly begins to knit and put back together. His eye, though, you're not sure if he's going to be able to see out of it. This is something that your magic is normally
Cure
not
Wounds
used to.
again.
Okay.
Oops, I accidentally gave myself -1 2nd level spell slots.
Okay.
Well, that's no good.
Wait.
So you heal him again for... So that's 26.
Just trying to like make sure that eye is good to go.
You pump another...
Do the horses have any saddlebags or anything on them? Like any
They look
things
like...
on their person?
They had like bits and bridles, but they didn't have any like saddles or any saddlebags of any kind. I mentioned this when you guys came here, but you can have a look around to see if there's any like signs of...
So since it's just on the map, is it obvious? Can I just point out that these stone things are faces?
Which stone things?
The stone things are actually faces, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I kind of thought about it, and I was like, oh, that'll get addressed. This.
Other problems right now. So, As you're looking around, make me maybe an investigation check. Just kind of a general look around.
Oh, 18.
Okay, so you have a look around, kind of like looking for various things and bits and pieces. You do find what looks like a small cache. You find an engraved ivory smoking pipe.
Yeah.
and
What's
a
the
small-
engraving say?
It's just engraved, like a scrimshaw.
Ah.
And you find a small green vial. Is it green? Yes, it's green.
What was that woman's name again? The cleric?
Syl.
Sil, could you attend to Mark? He got hit pretty bad. I think his leg might be fractured or broken even.
Of course, yes, yes. Come, little kobold, come here.
But that's it, just a vial and an ivory smoky pipe.
Yep, that's kind of all you found. It looks like it was probably the remains of whatever campsite. If you're looking around, kind of just generally to see why the horses were here, there looks like there are tracks from like lots of little creatures, mostly, and it looks like they kind of all swarmed up inside the horse and were waiting there. Syl will cast Cure Wounds on Mark. You heal 14 HP.
How's Mushroom's eye looking?
Did I just heal 14? Was that? Did you
14.
just say 14?
14.
Holy shit!
Did you roll an 8 and a 4?
So you can heal.
Little, yes. Not a great deal.
Is she okay now then?
I lack the abilities to take her out of the exhaustive state she was in. That's the problem. I explain this to you. Mushrab's eye, he kind of goes, laddie, enough. I think I can mostly see. It's a little funny, and his eye kind of goes, plop, and pops out of the socket for a second, and then pops back in. Ooh. That's a rather,
Again.
that's a rather, unfortunate sign. No, laddie, don't, no more. Don't waste your magics. It's fine, I can see.
There's no point in, like, not...
It's the early... Laddie, it's the early part of the day.
People can recover wounds. An eye is something you can't afford to lose.
But I can see fine, laddie. Don't worry. Both eyes can see perfectly fine. And his other eye, he opens it. There's a lot of scarring because your magic it can't deal with scars. There's a lot of scarring
around.
around
the eye before it starts to scar over.
Yeah, both eyes seem to be okay. There's a lot of scarring around the eyes, and it's definitely when everything finally like settles, it's gonna be it's gonna look like almost like his eye is the center of a starburst because the amount of claws and scratches just around his eyes, they gouged his pole's eye out.
Doesn't my magic just...
Your magic doesn't regenerate body parts either. You need a spell called regeneration for that.
Fair enough. Scarring's not necessarily...
Yeah. There's like tiny little claw marks from this eye scratching, gouging as they pull his eye visibly out of everything. And the only reason you managed to restore sight is because you pumped enough healing magic into the right spots to kind of knit it back together properly. He can see, but there's lots of claw marks all over his face and body. He took a lot of damage.
I'm gonna pull out... Oh, I should have mentioned it when I did the medicine check. I think I have a healer's kit. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna give him some bandage. I'm gonna help bandage up the eye that was. Let's just make sure that stays in place until it recovers better.
Okay, so you take some bandages and wrap it around his eye. Laddie, oh, fine. You lizard. Joseph, I'm fine, laddie. You wrap his eye up We should get going. Who knows what else could be out
I
here.
want to check up on Vorm.
Every 6 seconds, he like steals 10.
Yeah, so where the hoof mark was, this slowly begins to disappear, and there's lots of little claws and scratch marks.
Buffing
And they
himself
just-
out.
And they just kind of disappear. He looks as fresh as a daisy and perfectly fine and normal again.
Can you do that to me too, Vaughn?
Looks to you and shakes his head.
Would I know the general worth of this smoky pipe?
Yeah, I think you probably would. It's about 25 gold pieces.
I don't care what he says, I'm not losing
Mark's
an
going
eye
to
and
cover
then
up.
you guilt, you know?
Mike's going to start gathering brains.
Okay, so you make a survival check.
We shouldn't stay here too long.
You
I've read
man-
about these.
Okay.
Say it more.
So you managed to gather, I'd say about 30 of these little rat brains.
30 rat brains.
30,
You might want to keep them in a jar or something.
30 cranium rat brains.
Guys, can I use the alchemy jar for some alcohol?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Actually, do I have a container I can open?
We may want to get moving. I've read about these things in a book. Well, a delicacy. There is a larger creature that commands them, and it's probably not far off.
A delicacy? You're saying people are eating these things?
Of course.
Huh. I'm not sure after eating that I want to partake.
Do you have a jar to keep the brains?
So I'm gonna move you back to the map.
I don't. I do have a sack though. I've got 2 sacks, so I can do like a double there.
Okay, so you are actually.
I need some kind of actual decent container though, so I can put alcohol on them.
Maybe you should pickle them, you know? Maybe people will like that.
Did you bring salt? Well, I have a sand.
Pickled brains.
Trying to.
What are you gonna store the brains in?
Yeah,
A sack.
first of all, do you have a container? Just a bag?
I've got a sack. I've got a double sack though.
That's
I
gonna
can
be
double
grim in a few days.
sack. Yeah, but like we're gonna make a container later on.
Okay, so you're making your way back to.
Just for study purposes, anyway.
Okay, so you put them in a sack. Okay, so you put these
Alright.
brains, these wet, juicy brains, into a sack, and it hits the bottom.
God,
You kind of look inside of it. It looks a bit like Jello, but not quite. Something's a little off about it, and you seal it up.
God.
Well, yeah, something a little off, like the fact that they're brains.
Let me know when we've traveled for 2 hours.
Okay, so you carry on down the river, just kind of nursing your
For
wounds.
an hour, I guess.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Oh, I'm gonna use my channel divinity to make a mason jar with a metal latch to put the brains in, because that's like disgusting.
Okay. About an hour later, Joseph like thrusts this jar
Well,
into.
2 hours, because I need an hour to get channel divinity. I need to make sure nothing goes wrong in the next 2 hours.
Okay. Do you have like a limited amount of cast of channel divinity?
That's why 2 hours. Short rest, riding in the cart into
Does it regenerate channel divinities?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as you're riding around in the cart, you can.
Also on a roll hit die on short rest.
Yeah. So yeah, you can roll hit dice if you want as you travel.
I meant to roll 1, and my mouse double clicked.
That's fine. Just take the 8. Okay. So as you continue to travel along.
Is there any way I can determine what this vial is?
Make a intelligence check. Just straight intelligence. I don't think you have the skills necessary to figure out what this thing is.
13.
Looking at this thing, you reckon it might be some kind of poison, but it's the specific variety, you don't know what. Green generally means poison. That's kind of your rationale.
Would I know anyone in the group who would know more about it, or like?
You don't know
I mean,
anyone in the
You
group.
haven't asked us anything about
Yeah.
ourselves.
So no. So as you're traveling along, I'll say 2 hours passes without incident, and it begins to get dark.
I give Mark a mason jar. Here, please don't keep those things in just a bag. I'll
Ah,
even pour
thank
some
you.
water in it so that
No, no,
they
no, no,
don't.
no, 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 no. We have alcohol in the alchemy jar, right?
You have beer, not alcohol.
It technically has alcohol.
Was
in
it wine?
Beer and wine.
I'm
Can I
gonna
fill it up with wine? Would you guys let me?
get the brains drunk.
They might color a bit, but they'll.
You'll kill off the brain cells.
Okay. So you do this. You take the alchemy jug and you pull out the vine stopper and you pour the vine into it as it kind of like fills the mason jar as well, not fills it, but you fill it enough so that you can pour the brains into it and kind of fill them up. Some of the ones that were sitting on the bottom are a bit more mushed than they were when you first got them. You pour them all in though and you seal up the mason jar. I assume it's glass with like a metal
Yeah, with
metal
the
ring.
metal like stopper kind of thing.
Yeah, so you look inside and see all these brains kind of floating on the ground. They actually glow slightly now that you're getting a good look at them. And as the night begins to get darker, they have a soft pink glow. As you're staring at these brains, staring deeply into them,
Well, I
looking.
sure hope they're not still active, but they're also
Well,
getting.
I can try that, and
complicated.
I'll try and make telepathic contact.
You try and make telepathic contact with them. Okay. What do you say?
Brain, hello, hello, brain.
Hello, brain.
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
It can take control of me.
Oh, that's a good wisdom saving throw.
Hello, Mark.
Ah, you must be the what did Joseph call it? An elder brain.
Very astute. You found my scouts. We've been looking for you.
Ask if he wants to buy an ivory pipe.
You can't hear any of this. It's
know.
all mental. He's just staring at him.
So, I was wondering, all those tiny fuckers, they told me the same power as I'm using. You've got.
Of a sort. Yes. That's why we want you.
You want me? That won't do though. That won't do. But I am curious what you can teach me.
Many things. All you need to do is come find me. I'm near. I'm very close.
Are you in a hurry with that? Because we kind of need to get this person to town first.
No. I'm in no rush.
Alright, might take you up on this offer then. And Mark stops contacting the brains. But guys, the brains still work.
Keep the brains near you, Mark.
Psychonauts.
They let me know where you are.
Mark's no longer focusing on the brains. Does he still hear
It
this?
doesn't matter. Not anymore, no. You can still hear this, yes.
Yeah, that's weird.
Come to the wreck of the Star Goddess. We're waiting for you, Mark. Does Mark have a true name? one he was given by the lizard men, one that would be in their not the lizard men, by the kobolds in their native tongue.
They called him Mark.
Okay. Just checking.
They didn't like him very much.
Clearly. But well, his parents.
Didn't know them.
Okay, fair enough.
You can read the fucking story. It's huge.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't see it in there, so I thought maybe it would be something you might want to reveal.
Mark is going to share this with the party and ask for the map. Mark, Wreck of the Star Goddess, he said.
And then when do you have the map in your hands?
Oh, the map.
So as you
Alright,
see
give
the
it
map,
Mark. I unfurl it.
okay. So as you unfurl it in front of him, you are drawn
Grab my navigation points.
to that spot there. You can feel every single fiber of your being telling you that's where the wreck of the Star Goddess is.
Where exactly?
There! No.
But he said he was close.
Like
What the
that's
fuck? That's not close.
Relative.
Relative.
That ain't close. That's like
That ain't
from where I
close.
live to London.
Hey, we gotta travel
We can
that
make it by
distance.
train in a couple of hours.
Hey, we
Yeah,
can
where's
make
the
it. We
train?
can walk there in 2 weeks.
Where's Chalt Central?
We can't walk down 2 weeks. It's going to take us a week to get to Port Nyanzaro.
That-
He
No, it's
said
gonna take
it.
us
yeah.
And then a
2
week
weeks.
to get back here, and then 3 weeks to go all the way there.
No,
which
no,
is
it's
not
gonna
gonna
take us
happen.
2 weeks to get to Port Nyanzaro. It was gonna be.
Let's just
take
make it
hours
through
by
the
river.
day.
I'm saying this is day one of a fucking 40-day trek.
Okay, so the night
I'm on my
Got
way.
like
the night
rat
comes
brain.
and it passes without incident. As
If
you
the nights pass, if we get to nighttime, then
yeah,
I get
Okay.
more channel divinity big.
okay. You gonna do
I
anything
don't
with
want
it?
to use it on anything. Oh yeah, I meant to ask, what did the mason jar cost?
I'd say 2 silver. It's not very complicated.
All right.
Mark will have paid you that if you ask
If,
for
if
it.
you don't have the silver on you and you have to give your god a gold, does it give you change?
It doesn't work that way. What actually would happen is a piece of the gold piece would come off. It's materials.
And make a smaller gold piece, or would that
Yeah,
convert-
a
No, the
smaller
gold piece. The gold piece. Yeah, the smaller gold piece. So the smaller gold piece would be worthless if you did that. Effectively, so it would work.
So
Anyways.
we should give all, like, basically give Monto all of us, like, change.
Exact change only is this how
Yeah,
this god
exact
works.
change
Yeah.
only.
As we're going, I don't know, Nicholas, make some kind of plans. I want to share with Nicholas what I learned about the identifying the golem.
Okay.
Okay.
So now you
What
also
kind
have
of
that
plans
information.
you want me to make?
Well, I don't know. We have that the minigun plans. We thought we were gonna work on that all as we
Oh,
go.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Nothing else to do. Might as well be productive.
I'll,
Tinkers
With
made the
advantage,
tinkers.
nothing.
with advantage, yeah,
Yeah.
he's helping or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a 20 then.
20. So what are you trying to do?
Just working on more like finalizing the plans for the blade arc revolving.
How are we gonna make it fire? Like, what's gonna be the firing mechanism? We got gunpowder. We magic.
Well, we can make smaller little lead shots for it.
All right.
Wait, what's her current situation?
So they were making a
we're
tinkering
just
shop.
calmly.
I'm thinking more of like a Gatling gun now, where they just like rotate around and there's like a feed chamber that fires ball bearings or well,
All right.
shot.
No, yeah, that's good. But like, what's the propelling mechanism? We can do
Same
gunpowder. it's
mechanism
fine.
as the thunder cannon.
Of course, of course.
Okay. So you spend the time kind of working out this and trying to figure out how the last bits work. You manage to make enough progress that Brecken, one more like kind of refinements, and you think you'll have this necessary kind of plans to create this thing properly. However,
As
the
we're
next
traveling all
Yep.
along, I want to be looking out for like anything shiny.
Okay. Make me an investigation check. Or no, perception check. Just a perception check.
24.
As you're traveling around, traveling through, you do see... What the fuck is that? Okay.
Oh no! Come on, Moe! The hell?
You see something on the side of the road.
Of course I do.
And I need to look at this thing because I need to see what it is.
It's a
The
little,
fucking road!
it's a little
On the side
crazy
of the,
rat
like-
with his finger up in the sky, asking for a lift.
No, it's not.
It'd be his thumb.
It's a fucking Babylon Saga, isn't it? Fucking jungle.
It's a
Oh, yeah,
Baba Yaga.
okay.
Baba Yaga.
You see a statue on the
Some
side.
kind of bugging.
Is it another Vorn?
No,
Is it Jason Bourne?
no.
Oh, is it just Camp Righteous
You
again?
see a 10-foot tall statue overgrown with vines. And yeah, along the foot of the statue there is
A collection
a number of
things.
treasures.
Hold!
Hold? We're stopping?
Wait.
Oh, we stopped here already? Or
Yeah,
is this while
you're,
traveling?
You're stopped. You're stopped. You're stopped like on the road side of the road. The Vorn isn't gonna stop till Mark tells him to stop, though.
Fawn, can you clear those vines off that statue?
No, he just told you to stop. He didn't
No.
tell you to statue there.
So Vorn takes the cart over to the statue, jerks it along, as you all kind of go, "Ugh!" And he begins clearing the vines. He's still connected to the cart. You didn't tell him to. You just told him to. Okay,
I don't
so
know how we attached it to him.
yeah, he's like lashed to it in order to carry you forward. So he rips the vines off the statue and begins to tear it. And you see a large statue, a 10-foot tall statue of a. What does he look like? It doesn't actually say. Let me see if it's got a picture. No, it doesn't. Oop.
I'm inspecting me treasure.
Okay, so you're expecting your treasure table. There is a small wooden box, and inside the small wooden box are 6 potions of healing.
6.
So what is this statue of? I guess that's an important question that someone should ask.
Mushrab will tell you.
Nice.
Laddies, that's a statue of Ubtao. He is, well, he was a god. He abandoned the people here.
I'm gonna give 1 healing potion to each of the party members. Moose Rat doesn't get one. Just the party members.
Okay.
There's only 4 of us.
Well, you get 1, Dean gets 1, and Niels gets 1.
Oh wait, I forgot. Vorn gets one. Yeah.
Vaughan doesn't get 1.
Aw.
He's too big.
These small red vials. They're easily identifiable.
Was there just 1 box? Like
One
or
box,
was
yeah.
it-
It was like a little box with like a little gold latch, which is why you spotted it. It shined in the distance.
Is there any like things lying around it, like other sacrifices or offerings or anything?
Doesn't look to be like a couple of little bone necklaces and things like that. Stuff that you think probably isn't worth much. However, Mushrab will tell you a story at this point. Ubtao, laddies, he long protected over the land and the Chaldean civilization. But Ubtao grew angry over his worshippers' endless warring and the reliance on him to solve all his problems. More than about a century ago, I think, Ubtao simply abandoned Chult. And his influence hasn't been felt since that day. Some of the statues and things, laddies, they maintain themselves through some magics.
Sounds like
but
a
he-
reasonable kind of guy.
All I'm hearing is he doesn't need these things anymore.
When Upta left, the Cholteans suffered crippling spiritual blow. But eventually, the disintegrated warring tribes learned to put aside their petty conflicts
Beaten by dinosaurs.
and unite as one people. To this day, the dinosaurs are still revered as Upta's sacred children by many of the Cholteans, even though Upta himself is no longer very popular. With Upta gone, though, the Cholteans have turned to other deities, including ones introduced them by missionaries. Things like, the goddesses of trade, Gond, the goddess of craft, Savris, Soon, Timora. Besides spreading word of their deities, those many of the foreign missionaries also have exploited Cholts. So we have a complicated history with gods.
I'm sure give it like a few years. I'm sure he'll come back in.
Some still worship Uptao, some worship the 9 trickster gods. It depends. Although they have not been seen for quite some time now. Laddies. Aye, laddies. We need to get going. It's a long journey back to Port Nyanzaru.
Back on the road again.
So, as you're traveling, the days ahead seem to pass by in a blur. A week.
As
Guessing
the
one
days
last in
go
between.
by, can we do things
Yeah, what you want to do?
casually? Yeah, a few things. Like we could finalize the minigun planning over the course of the few days, like
Okay.
carefully.
Make me
We-
another
I-
20.
20. Okay,
Okay.
so that last tinkering check, you finalize the plans.
Nat 20.
As you come along, you realize the plans are complete. You reckon in order to complete the project properly, you will need a workshop. You will need tools, you will need components, you will need things in order to do it. You think you could set up a workshop in the jungle, but you would be setting up and staying still for days as you
How
set
many
up
of
everything.
these tools and components could we cheat out with Channel Divinity?
All of them, but you would have to stay still for days.
No, I mean the actual parts of the gun.
Could he make parts in preparation for the...
Oh, I see. Making the parts themselves, the barrels themselves, maybe some of the firing mechanisms, but it's putting it together.
Schematics, and he's like the laser cutter.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm basically a 3D printer over here.
you are basically a 3D printer, but the problem is that putting things together is very complicated, and
Yeah,
you're
but
talking
we
about
might as well use the time to make
Yeah.
them. So when
Yeah,
we
so you
get
could
them,
cut
we
down
can
the
just
crap.
slap it together.
Yeah, so what's the cost, please?
okay.
For,
This is
all the components,
This is a
not the
very
final.
complicated weapon. I'm going to have to look this up. It's not something you can craft right now. I have
Yeah,
to look it
but
out
when
out
we
of
do
session.
craft, since we're not making the full gun, I'm just making the parts. We can still shave 20% off the cost.
Yeah, you're still saving 20% off the cost. But you're
And-
effectively making... What you're effectively making is what's called a sword of haste in a gun form.
Oh what?
It gives you an
We're
extra
making
tack.
a Gundam model kit.
Yeah. And it gives you an extra tack, so I have to look up the cost of that.
Hey, Brad, just
Mm-hmm.
as a general thing, like I was just looking at some of the handouts and stuff for like the named NPCs that we got in the
Yep.
past. Obviously, my character probably hasn't met them, but like, was there one for like Nanny Popo or whatever? Because I have no idea. Because I was just thinking, I have no idea what she looks like. Is
Let me
there one
check.
for her?
Actually, I do think we saw a picture of her, yeah.
Yeah, you can see a
Really?
picture of her, yeah.
Right?
Because I don't have the handout like in the thing.
What? I don't remember getting a handout for.
Yeah, I don't remember.
She does have a
But I
handout.
just-
So yeah, I guess as the days go by, like, we already have the blow darts, unless those
Yeah.
are just a beta step and we'll need actually something refined.
There you go.
We can use the blow darts.
Oh God!
That is not what I imagined.
Yeah, me neither.
That's definitely a mass.
That's a fucking witch, is what it is, or some shit.
Bet she lives in a chicken cottage.
Voodoo.
Oh
She's
fuck it.
got mad tits.
She was scary before you saw her. Now she's proper nightmarish.
No, but like, I mean,
She's
that
not
is the size of
nightmarish,
her
she's just
face,
ugly.
Eric. Look at the.
He's got
By the way,
monkey ears, dude.
Mark's gonna.
That
Catch
face
rats.
is jolty, and she's
Oh, there fucking was.
ripped.
There was a handout for a
She's
Sararak. There's a Sararak.
Wait,
So-
which skull does he talk from?
Yeah.
Yes.
Both, either.
I choose
Mixes
to
and
believe he
matches.
only talks from the staff one.
You've met this one as well, actually.
That ain't no flask of wine. Just want to.
Yeah, just saying.
It's
My
labeled
flask
right.
of wine is so much better than that thing.
Okay, anyways.
It's got fucking tire
Oh,
treads on its head.
There's Bush Rat.
It's been run over.
Right. Draw an eye patch on him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's also been run over. Look
He's
at-
got like an upside down shocked face on his head.
Anyways.
Anyways, yeah.
Surprise.
He's got painted on eyebrows.
So,
He's like
as
one of
you
those
make-
hipster girls.
okay, as the weeks pass, as the days pass and they pass into
What now?
weeks,
We saved him some money.
you make
The
your way
money-
finally. You finally. I know. I will get that to you in next session, so you know how much it's going to cost to build this thing.
Alright.
Okay.
Are we just fast forward into the port?
Yeah,
or
I'm
something?
gonna pass forward you to the port.
I want to just keep.
Ah.
I'm still treasure hunting.
Okay.
Also, while we're traveling, I want to research the rats. I want to catch wild rats and like do a cross reference.
Wild rats. I rolled a nat 20 on the religion check. I can just give
This
you
is-
the information.
Yeah, but that's just religious information.
This
That's
is a jungle. There's plenty of
not
people
the-
died here.
That's not what happened with the brain.
Okay.
You know.
You have a choice now. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the choice now. You can fast forward to Port Nanzaro and basically make your way there with no further incidents. If you take the time to actually try and look for treasure or anything like that, it will slow down your journey.
I want to fast forward. We can search for treasure on the
But
way.
like, if we've been stopping at the nights and sleeping and stuff,
He's
I can
saying
surely
he's just doing a
scout
quick
the
scout
area.
every time we stop
Yeah.
for the night.
Oh, stop
Not
for
like
the night.
actively looking.
Yeah, plenty of
Kind of
people.
like with
Rolling.
the statue thing.
Like while
Okay.
they're doing their research and stuff.
Roll a D100 3 times then.
Gonna get us killed.
You might.
I smell
Oh, I wouldn't
So-
leave the camp too much, but you know, you can look around
So
the area.
the first time you spot in the river of the traveling alongside you a set of bumps that move along the river as they kind of come out and then go back diving underneath it.
Well, I don't want to fuck with that.
If it's moving, it ain't treasure. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's moving, it ain't
The-
treasure.
The second
It could have
time,
a rapier stuck in its side.
Oh, fuck's sake.
the second time you spot nothing. Nothing happens. The final time, ooh, you run into a tribe of lizard folk.
That's
And they-
right.
Oh.
And they spot Joseph.
Do you want to buy an ivory pipe?
I
Oh no.
no. No. They come upon you. Where is it? H-I-J-K-L. C-G-H-H-L. Yeah. We need food. You will
Do they
give us
appear to
food.
be carrying the treasure that I am looking for?
Well, they approached us, so.
They approach you. There are 3 of them, along with one that is wearing shamanistic clothes. Their scales are slightly different from Joseph's. They're more greens.
Yeah, different regions. They
Yeah,
have
different
better
region.
camouflage.
Yeah, for the region, yeah.
I can share the bounty of rat meat I would have by now.
Yeah, you probably have a
How,
bunch of rats.
how much
I've been
that grief
catching
will
rats.
this travel take, by the way?
Huh?
what? Insect repellent grease.
You get
Wow.
1 per day.
So how many days would we fast forward through?
7.
7.
Because he's had a week, it would take you.
Yep.
Av, you share your food. The lizard folk, they sit down with you. One of them, the shaman, sits down. Why are you here? What are you doing in this part of the jungle?
We're simply traveling up the river to get back to the human civilization.
Thank you. Well, humans are interesting creatures. I see you travel with a few. And some others. Have you been far in the jungle, my boy?
We've been about halfway down the river.
Were you near Camp Vengeance, those terrible brutes that do
Oh,
nothing?
yes, they were terrible. Dust now, it appears.
Oh, good riddance. Terrible creatures.
On the bright side, there is a big open plot of sand there now.
Sand is good. Very good. Do you have any... But you must be here for a reason. We've seen many of your kind, your adventurer types here. What are you looking for?
Well, unless you'd happen to know where the Lost City is or any other very
The lost city of Omu.
incredible... Yeah,
Yes, I know where it is.
get out.
Alright,
Get out of here.
Fine. We shall go.
As
Come.
the humans say, get out of here.
Come. Come.
No,
Come.
it's an expression, though.
Oh.
It means that's an amazing thing. It's hard to believe.
Do you have a map?
Nicholas, do you have the map?
I have the map. I
May we-
the map.
The lost city is... And he takes... The lost city you will find... Here.
Oh, there.
Really?
It's been found.
Really?
Yes.
I suppose we can't call it the Lost City anymore. Would it go by a more proper name?
No. It is Omu.
Omo, alright. Well, we have the found city of Omo on our map now.
It is still a lost city. It's not an easy place to get to, as you've seen.
Is there any hazards we should expect when if we
Many.
try to travel there?
Many hazards.
Other than the normal jungle variety, I mean. Yes.
Ask him where his tribe is from.
Oh, that is a good point. Could you tell us more about your tribe?
Shall we speak about Omu first, and we will get to me later?
Of course.
There
They're
are
a lot
many...
nicer lizard folk than where I'm from.
The jungles are terrible and awful places. What good does it do to be a horrible person when there is horrible around you? And besides, you have shared your food with us. We have no reason to distrust you.
Fair.
Could I ask a question about the Lost City? Would that be alright?
He's about to
Of
tell us
course.
about it.
The lost
Well,
city...
I just want to know if it's actually lost as in location or lost as in it was lost to some other force from the people who owned it previously.
This one thinks with his brain. Very good. The lost city is a terrible place because Rasnisi, more specifically, Rasnisi attempted to overthrow this place, destroy it, kill everyone inside of it, and kill everyone inside of Chult. He failed, of course, but his minions are still here. I assume you've run into many of the undead and other things.
Yes.
Remnants of his army. And they exist all over Chult. And particularly in that horrible place. It was his base of operations.
A veritable bastion of undead, then.
Some say he's still there. Some say he still haunts those tombs and places. Even if he is been killed multiple times.
Killed multiple times.
He was defeated. The original city, what was its name? It was a city that disappeared. Gil. What was the city's name? I don't remember. Oh, never mind. Ah, I remember. Mesro. Mesro was the one that disappeared. The whole city vanished in one day. Gone from all time and space.
Vanished, perhaps?
Perhaps. But it was vanished as the hordes came crashing on its doorsteps, and the only
where
thing...
would that have been on this map?
No one's sure. There's not even a crater or any memory of anyone who's in. Someone would have to be alive for 200 years to remember any of that.
So an elf or something.
Possibly. There are others. Many others.
Alright.
Poo-poo might know.
Nanny Poo Poo probably knows a lot.
You should do well to avoid that one. Although she is one of the few who still has the ability to resurrect the dead. So she may prove useful.
To what ends is this ability to resurrect the dead even under such circumstances?
She does deals. She makes bargains. That's what she does.
Are you saying she can still resurrect the dead without consequence?
I didn't say that. Resurrecting
sure
the dead is never without consequence.
But
But rather without the effects of the curse.
I'm still I'm curious about like
Yes.
what she do we need a body or something? Because I know a guy got his heart ripped out by the Lich himself.
You've run into a Sararak. And
Yeah.
lived. You do need a body from what I know, but you could ask. Maybe she doesn't need the body anymore. I don't know the extent of her powers. She's sometimes found in Port Nyanzaru. Sometimes she's found in her home. But even I don't know where that is.
Thank you for your information. Now about your tribe.
My tribe. What about your tribe?
My tribe is in where I'm from, or my friends here.
Either? Both? Which matters to you more?
Probably my friends and family.
Hmm.
We're
So
a
then-
group of Nicholas, do you want to describe what kind of group we are?
We're a band of misfits, seeking adventure and treasure.
Hastily assembled.
Mostly treasure.
Like most adventurers, you grow to
When
be a
there's only
family.
good treasure.
The Lost City, the heart of Uptao.
What kind of treasures?
Many treasures in Uptao, in Omu. Many treasures in the heart.
For magic.
Omu would have more magic than the other. Or if you could find where the great red dragon who uses this as his base is, that would have many treasures. And some of the mines nearby, they also have treasures, magic or otherwise, gold and various valuable things. I did hear of an airship crashing recently, of a star goddess, I believe.
Whereabout was the landing site?
That's where the brain told me to go.
Brain?
The what?
Oh, yeah, we met some cranium rats. Look at the jar. I kept that brain.
The glowing pink jar you pull out of your thing. You should
That's
probably
the thing now,
throw
because
those.
It's wine color now.
Well, it's wine, but it's still glowing. The brains
Is the-
glow.
Is the you saying the crash thing, is that the wreck of the Star Goddess that was previous?
An airship. Yes, I think the name was Star Goddess. I saw the name on the hull when it passed over. But we live in the Valley of Dread.
Could you show us where that is?
I'd rather not.
Oh wait, no, I see it on the map.
We live over there, very far away. We're out here scouting out. We were going to do some trade in Port Nanzaru.
Oh, would you like to join us on our way there?
No,
What is it that you're trading, if I may ask?
we're on our way back. We trade in pelts and dinosaur meats and various other things that can be found in the jungle.
Wait, if they're on their way back, they have gold. Where is
Back from the port. Or
You
to
can
the
see
port?
on
Sorry, I
there,
missed
on
that.
a number of the warriors' belts, there are a number of pouches that kind
it?
of...
Do they look ripe with coin?
They are full.
Oh. Boys.
Well, if you have no further questions, we shall continue on our way.
What
I
would
wish
be
you luck in your
the
journey.
what would be the likelihood of swiping a pouch?
I wouldn't.
You don't know. I assume that was DM question.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I mean,
Without being caught.
yeah.
You don't know. Depends on how you do it.
Are there any of them that are like moving away time to time, or
At
have
the-
one in a place that can be easily pinched
So
out the sight
you
of the
have
others?
3 guards and the shaman. The shaman is sitting down, kind of conversing with you. The 3 guards look on high alert. Oh. I wish you lucks in your very journeys and in your groups growing friendship. Groups like these start out a certain way, but they can become families. Help me out. And then one of the guards comes over and kind of helps him out.
I just realized we're gonna be rolling into the trade town with a giant, incredibly valuable golem. We're gonna look like kings.
Can you
Is he
find
gonna be-
a for him?
Is he going to be like lifting up, and the pouch would be more accessible as he lifts?
Like a
Um,
tinfoil coat?
So he leans
I'm not making
forward.
a tinfoil coat. I
So
mean,
he-
technically, if I make something with a lot of buckle.
He leans forward, and the pouch kind of dangles down a bit on one of the guards, because the guards are the one who have the gold. The shaman's not carrying anything that looks like a pouch full of money.
Are people kind of like look like? I want to wait for a second where people are like sort of looking away, and I want to try and just reach for the pouch.
Okay, go ahead. Make a sleight of hand check.
21.
So you reach forward. Oh shit. And as you reach your hand forward to kind of like snatch the pouch, the shaman kind of wraps your hand with his cane. Not smart. But I'll let it pass. It is in your nature, after all. Come on.
I was
Come
just
on,
checking
boys.
the weight. I have a fetish.
Yes. Yes, you do have a fetish. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
3.
Somebody touch
So-
your pouch!
As he touches you, no one else kind of notices because you're kind of like this very quick kind of action where he was went tap and then touched your head. Time seems to kind of go very slow for a second for you. Everything he seems to kind of like spread
Sounds of
out,
fine flower.
and then you get a very different sense of things. You will stay with them, keep them safe, protect them. You are necessary for many things. When you get to Orlunga, ask a question that you need to ask. And then it kind of like stops for a second.
What the
So,
hell is?
none of you heard that. Only Eric heard that.
That's fair.
Can I have your pouch?
No,
Have your couch.
you cannot. Come on, let's go. We accomplished what we came here for. I am full. You are full. We had some lovely rat.
Oh boy.
And they make their way.
Wait,
away
but they just ate some rat and they didn't even pay for it.
No, you offered it to
We
them.
offered it, and they paid us in information, rare information.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You begin to continue to make your way towards.
Okay, so what am I in terms of like?
You don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So we make it
Wait.
back to town.
Mhm.
He told him to ask a specific question, but does he know the question now?
He might know the question.
Make
Is
sure
it,
you're at
can
it
I have
down.
your pouch?
he already told you no. So they leave off into the jungles, heading south and southeast, and you head off, and you make your way. As you kind of come and crest over the hills and make your way back to that bridge that you made before, I believe you broke it.
No, we didn't break it. We crossed it just fine. The problem is that, yeah.
Yeah, there
The
wasn't any
bridge was
problem.
just
There were
fine.
dead people on the other side.
Yeah, there were
Oh,
dead
yeah.
people on the other side, but other than that, there was no issue.
Yeah, yeah. So you cross over to the bridge and you see the glittering sight of Fjord Nyanzaru. Everyone kind of breathes a sigh of relief. Even, so Syl breathes a sigh of relief. Finally, I can get her some help. Good. I'm glad we finally made it. Your injured person has still not woken up, though. As you make it this way. I've been making checks for them, but they just roll really shit. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end it today.
Better this way.
As
Yeah.
you see the
As we
sights.
arrive in port, do we get downtime days? Like, can me and Dean secure a place to
You can attempt to
use the
like,
workshop?
yeah, you can attempt to do that. I would say you can try and kind of like secure a place to build
rent
this
the
gun.
workshop?
Yeah, you can rent a workshop.
More growth before we go back into.
Are there beggars in Port Nyanzaru?
Yes.
Yeah, you.
Alright, I'm gonna dirty myself
You.
up and pretend to be a beggar while
Do
I'm
you-
in the downtime.
Do you attempt to leave the party?
Well, I don't intend to leave him too far. I just want to like
He's
be
not
if wherever
abandoning
they're.
us. He's just, you know, he's staying in town doing other things.
Okay.
Can't I just beg outside the fucking workshop?
You can, yeah. Okay, but if you attempt to leave the party, as you kind of like get too far away from them, you get a very odd sensation.
Yes, on
A
you.
very strong headache begins to form. But it only seems to manifest when you get too far away from the rest of the party.
How far is too far?
It's when your intent is to leave the party and not know where they are.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows where we are, though, if he wants to go bag anywhere in town. We'll
Yeah,
be in
yeah.
the
As long as
workshop
you're
or
not
at
like
the
gonna
end.
go like obviously it's not like it's like if you decide I want to go shopping and they decide oh I want to go this place and we'll meet up later, that works fine. But it's more like if you say oh I'm gonna go do begging and I'll see you guys later without knowing where they're going to be, that's when it becomes a problem.
What if we lie to him, though? Then he wouldn't know where it would be, but it would be his fault.
I'm just gonna do the general criminal activities. I'll do the begging. I'll, you know, try out a few things. I'll see if any people pass out drunk near taverns. I'll loot them,
Okay.
etc., etc.
So we'll do some downtime
I
activities.
recommend the lizard if you're gonna.
Yeah, so we'll do some downtime activities and things like that. When we come back, we'll do like at the start of the session, say, well, what did you think you wanted to do, and I'll kind of make you do rolls and things like that for that. So just have a think of what you want to do. Cool.
I'm amassing treasure for some